everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. I am your host, your purveyor of all things dorky within the scope of professional wrestling and sports entertainment. I am Grumm. It is good to have you. Good to see you. Welcome in. You can see if you never knew him, this is the room. This is the new room. Anyways, we're here, episode 78, I believe. 78, 79, 78, 79. It's high 70s. Brain's not working, but we've got a fun one today. I'm checking to make sure that I have it right. 79, episode 79, fun one. It is myself, it is ThatDuffGuyPat, it is TheAtomicBear. We're talking about a fun character this go around. Last time I had them on, when I had the issues recording, it was myself and them, and we were watching the 2000 No Way Out 2000 Hell in a Cell match between Cactus Jack and Triple H, and it was a really good one, and it was fun to watch. A really good match with people who don't know much wrestling, and there were some issues. So I was like, all right, let me do something different this time. So we changed it up. Didn't really re-show them that because it feels weird to re-show them stuff. But this time we've got we're watching Brutus the Barber Beefcake. We're gonna watch his turn at WrestleMania 3, how he became the Barber, and then his WrestleMania 6 match against Mr. Perfect. Fun episode. I guess this episode's coming out the week of Revolution, AEW Revolution. It's a fun. So far, I like the card. It's not great. It doesn't spark joy, but I mean, it's definitely right now for me. It's a 2-match card. It is the Iron Man match between MJF and Bryan Danielson for the world title, and the Texas Death match between Adam Page and Jon Moxley. Should be good. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Those 2 matches and everything else. I mean, the floor is very high. It's a very high floor for their week 2. For their matches. It's just, man, the stories are just not hitting, man. And like, I'm sure Wednesday that everything will hit. Everybody's like, these are hot, man, hot, and it's like, but they weren't for months on it. And like, that's the thing with AEW. Like, I like that they do 4 pay-per-views a month or a year, not a month. That'd be ridiculous. But a 4 pay-per-views 4 pay-per-view schedule, allows things to breathe. But the problem is like, I just feel like Tony Khan, I don't know, he just likes to hit the same beats. Like, we're going to have a 4-way tag team title match with, like, just, I mean, it looks like, from all accounts, it's just going to be the Guns, the Acclaim, Jarrett, and Lethal, and then Best Friends. And I get programming, and you have the Battle Royals, but it's just like, yeah, we did the Battle Royals. The face of a Revolution is just a whole bunch of people that have kind of been feuding together, but kind of haven't been feuding at all, and being put together for, I guess, a TNT title shot, which is good. Wardlow came back and threatened Joe, the undisputed king of television. Like, there are absolutely characters and acts that are good and entertaining, but their stories are just not hitting. The Guns were feuding with FTR. I understand FTR taking a little bit of a break, but as they should. They were kind of going hard there. But like, I mean, AEW built. It's a really good tag division. There's a lot of good tag teams. The best you can do is throw together a fatal 4-way tag team title match on like 3 weeks' notice. And you're taking your 2 top tag team stories, without a doubt, being the Guns. But like, we've done this before. The Acclaim and the Guns, they've been feuding months ago. And like, they just split off for whatever reason. I guess, you could say it's a change of plans because the Acclaim got stupid over, and they put the belts on the Acclaimed at Grand Slam. But I don't know, man. It's just weird because it's just, I'm interested. I love pro wrestling, so it's fun to watch pro wrestling. But when it's just not hitting, and it's like, oh, you're there, the components are there, but something's missing. You just kind of have to look and go like, well, what's going wrong? And it's like, oh, like I think the main event, the world title feud is kind of emblematic of that, right? Like it's that you started it really hot with MJF like taking out William Regal, and you didn't bring it back up until 2 weeks before the pay-per-view, you know, like you lost the, you know, Bryan Danielson had to go through a whole bunch of obstacles to get to MJF, and MJF, I like the whole background, the whole like foundation of it being like no, you're going to earn you don't get to just I'm not handing out world title shots like the other champions have, right? Like you have to earn it, and that makes sense because you're now valuing your world title a little bit more. Like, respect to Moxley, him wrestling people far beneath him to good matches. That's fine. That's good. You know, it's interesting, but also like it kind of devalues your. I'm going to say devalues. It presents your world title as if it's another thing, right? Like you have so many titles: the TNT title, the All Atlantic title, the tag titles, the women's world, the TBS. Like your world titles, to me, as a just a wrestling fan, should feel more prestigious, more important to your show than any other of the titles. And not that Moxley didn't do that, because Moxley himself has the gravitas to pull that off. But, like, it's different. It's different in that your world title champion carries himself higher than everybody else. Obviously, it works incredibly when your world champion is a chicken shit heel and runs away. But it also makes it feel better because now, hey, that's different. I have to pay to see the world title be defended. It's classic, wrestling. It's basic understanding of how wrestling was before the Monday Night Wars. Like, Bret Hart would never would never defend the world title on Raw or Superstars. He'd wrestle, sure, but he's not defending the world title. You have to pay to see that. And even then, he wasn't even wrestling all that much. And, Hogan, Hogan, unless he would do it on television, but it would be on, like, the main event or Saturday Night Main Event. Big, important things, right? Because it makes that event feel big and important. And I just feel like Revolution kind of the last couple of years has felt, after 2020, right? Because that's the second one. Like, 2021, okay. All right. Okay, like he had. I think Revolution was like they build it up around like the exploding death match, right? Yeah. And I was trying to remember if that was Full Gear. It wasn't, no. But like, like you have this moment of that everything kind of does, and then there's a dud, and then last year's Revolution also felt kind of just like Wardlow is winning the face of the Revolution, but you also have like the Scorpio Sky Sammy Guevara feud going on, and that's kind of the replacement for the it was originally supposed to be Cody versus America Top Team, and Sammy gets put in there, and we already don't like Sammy, and like you have Darby going through this weird thing where he's like not featured but is, because he's with Sting and you gotta feature Sting. And then the world title is Page versus Adam Cole, and it delivers, but at the same time, it didn't really start going until a couple weeks before, because at that time, Adam Cole's feuding with Orange Cassidy, and he loses the payoff. He loses the unsanctioned Lights Out match, and you have your top contender lose a match and just say it doesn't count or it doesn't matter, and it kind of devalues that whole thing. It's weird. Revolution is oftentimes just kind of like it's clearly the fourth pay-per-view. Like, Full Gear has been solid at the last, since its inception in 2019. All Out has been good. Double or Nothing, I think, is kind of like it's not their WrestleMania, but it is their WrestleMania, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, that's the big event. Like, that's the one that has delivered. It's got the big time feel, and it delivers every single time. And Revolution just kind of falls short. So all that to say, I'm going to have a preview of Revolution probably later this week when this drops, because I have an idea and I want to try it out. So we're going to do that. But enough about that. Enough about complaining about pro wrestling. We're going to enjoy some pro wrestling. It is myself, ThatDuffGuyPat, and TheAtomicBear talking about Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake. Brother Brudi. Not the Zodiac. We're not talking about the Zodiac. We've talked about Brutus as the Booty Man, but we're talking about Brutus as Brutus the Barber Beefcake here on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. Let's see, what other bits could we do in addressing? We could do the bit where we just talk about doing bits about how the two of you were supposed to be, together on an episode. And then I fucked it up. We do a bit about talking about doing bits. How to
we can talk about how just unprofessional the Dork Side of the Ring podcast is. Really, losing audio, getting audio.
Calm down. All right, calm down. All right. Look, as you can.
What do you mean?
Look. This is like maybe. Let's see. I did the TWS once. I did like one stream. This is maybe like the third, maybe fourth time I'm like, I've got everything set up. Like Bear, you've known me since 20.
I've known you for a while.
Right, 2020, 29, or late 2019.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So
it's been a while.
To see that's like, hey, I've got everything how I want it. I spent 2.5 years getting everything how I want it. We're getting back to the point where I'm like, it's like I'm starting streaming all over again. Where I'm like, all right, like.
Hey, you know what we call that in the business?
Experimentation.
Skill issue. Okay. All right. You can't get up to par with the big boys.
This is why you got a C on the paper that we.
Hey.
Right, because
if we're going to talk about the common denominator, I got 2 A's and a B. That was the only one that got a C, pal.
I know. You interviewed an unprofessional podcaster. That's your fault.
Oh, okay. I guess.
So really, at the end of the day, it is your fault. Right? I'm just myself. You couldn't, you couldn't shine this turd.
Maybe you should have been more professional. Did you think about that?
I thought I was pretty professional. I didn't curse. I certainly acted like I knew what I was talking about.
No, you did curse.
Bear, why didn't you just lie?
I did. Well, that's the
why
whole
didn't
thing.
I lie?
The whole thing was.
We could have had Grumm just role play as like a studio exec.
Yeah, I've worked with a lot of like not major artists,
like Michael Bay.
Like I've found I've worked on the sets. I could have pretended I'm Camcorder Kid. I mean, like I'm working on some Marvel projects or. I've worked on Jurassic World Dominion, So
yeah,
I've been there.
Yeah, who was the director of that one?
It was Furiously Types. Well, I didn't really work with the director too much. So I really
as a camera operator, you didn't work with the director much.
Did I say I was a camera? No. I was an assistant to the camera operator. So if the camera operator needed something, I helped them.
Yeah, when the camera operator needed help, you cracked out your phone.
And what was the camera operator's name?
Jeff. One of them
Jeff
was
what?
Jeff.
Is this? Jeff Eagles.
All right, I'm gonna go and check the IMDb page for Jeff Eagles.
Yeah, I'm sure Jeff Eagles is will be credited on Jurassic Park Dominion. Yeah,
I'd hope so.
Yeah, certainly.
Wait, why don't we do the bit where we just do a 25-minute recap of everything that we talked about?
Yeah, what?
We could do that. We could.
We could do that. I mean, I don't know. We could at least plug the actual wrestling we watched.
Yeah, but the thing is like. I'm gonna.
Are we role playing here?
Yeah, like I want to save it for like I'm gonna reuse it because it's a good topic. But also I don't know when I'm gonna use it, so maybe we can talk about it. We could talk about. I mean, I talked about what the topic was. It was Mick Foley, Cactus Jack taking on Triple H.
Yeah.
And a Hell in a Cell match at No Way Out 2000, which some people regard as the greatest Hell in a Cell match of all time. I'm not one of them, but it was really good.
What? Yeah, I mean, they got beat up.
They did.
Violence.
That was epic.
A lot of the barbed wire getting, like just gently pushed onto his face. Meanwhile, it's like, ah!
Yo.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, they went through the Mick Foley ripping his arm open, just sending himself through the cage wall so that it would be open more. Yeah. I guess.
And then ripping it back open.
Yeah, I don't. I don't understand.
Did you know?
I don't understand that. What?
It's Pokemon Day next week.
It is, yeah. The 27th. So that'll be.
All right. What?
Right?
What are we gonna get?
That's the episode. That's when this episode will drop. Is on the 27th.
Oh.
Look at this.
So this will technically hit the main feeds before Pokemon Day, the Pokemon Direct.
So much content next week.
So
I get Dork Side of the Ring and Pokemon.
Right? It's the Venn diagram that includes just me and you in the center and Pat. Like it's like the three of us. Maybe a couple other people.
All right, so we're doing a 20-minute segment about the Pokemon Fusion website.
Oh my god, let's do it. My favorite ones are like the God of War ones.
Why?
Because they all come out really cool, and all the other ones don't. Hold on, I've got a list of my favorite. Hold on, I got a good one here.
Let me see these.
I'm
want to see. Aegis Slasher and Porygon Z is pretty cool. Maybe one of that.
It's a solid one.
Oh, you want to?
I'll show you that one.
Oh, okay. So these are all custom sprites.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are custom sprites, and they look great.
Yeah, these are.
Sylveon and Sylveon.
What?
Oh no, I'm horrified. Oh.
Okay.
It's if you do God of War and Deoxys, you get Miku.
Miku is
like from Hatsune Miku.
Hatsune Miku, the one and only.
Lost, so
this is
what?
Here's a problem.
Yeah, that one's great. I did Rotom and Aegis Slash too.
This Porygon Z and Kafagrigus.
Kafagrigus comes out with some absolute bangers.
It's actually a pretty good one.
Oh,
that's like a
Digimon.
That's like the villain in the Digimon movie. Like that comes out of the actual internet.
This is Scooby Doo Cyber Chase.
Yeah.
Oh my! I love that movie.
Well, look. All right. So we'll do our predictions. We'll do one prediction for the Direct,
and Darkrai,
and then we'll do the that's actually a pretty good one. So Bear, the foremost expert on the Pokemon. You're the Pokemon content. You're the Pokatuber here.
Some would say.
I would say me. I'm the sum.
Oh,
it's me and others. But I'm a part. I should say I'm a part of the sum.
That's crazy.
What are you predicting for the Pokemon Direct?
All right. Do you want the obvious, or do you want the crazy?
Whatever you feel like making to sound smart or to sound exciting.
All right. The obvious thing is Scarlet and Violet DLC.
Okay. Yeah.
And one of them's gonna be about summer holidays. That's like the easiest. It's gotta be. It's all about school. It's gotta be about having a break.
Oh, gotcha.
And Sword and Shield had like the winter deal.
Yeah, I can imagine them doing like a. All right, kids, you finish your studies. Go out and have a lovely break.
Wait. With Galar being like based on England, does that mean that Isle of Armor is like Scotland?
I think so. It's the Northern.
Yeah, could be.
Right? Because I know that they took some, some inspiration for some Scottish elements, but like largely,
it's gotta be.
And then Ireland is clearly the crown tundra, because there ain't nothing in Ireland but tundra, clearly.
Well, I think it'd be the other way around. I think the tundra would be Scotland, because there's a lot of snow in Scotland.
Yeah, you're probably right.
No, that's the obvious thing. A new mystery dungeon would be pretty epic.
Ooh.
Like a remake of Explorers of Sky or Time. That would be pretty cool. A new Colosseum game would be very, very sweet.
Please.
They won't do it though.
They won't.
I mean, some nonsense about Pokemon Unite for 10 minutes of the 20-minute direct.
Certainly. So that was going to be my prediction: is that we get our first Gen 9 Pokemon in Unite. Like I was going to say, like it's.
You say that they're putting Zacian in.
Yeah. So it's perfect.
So they're probably going to announce that.
Yeah. So I'm going to say, my prediction is that. Let's see.
Oh, they would do Ceruledge.
Yeah, I was gonna. Well, that's the thing is like it's you have to pick either Ceruledge or Armarouge. You can't pick like you wouldn't be able to do both.
They'll implement some sort of stupid like skins where it's like, oh, you can choose Armarouge or Ceruledge.
Maybe.
I mean they do have a bunch of evolutions. So.
True, that's true. But don't they have them as like individual, right? Like
it'd be like you pick Glaceon, you start as Eevee.
Yeah, I guess that's big. Yeah. Ceruledge is pretty good. I was gonna say, I would love to have Orthworm in Pokemon Unite. Just
that would be
just for the
wild.
fucking hilarity of it. It was like, here's this derpy, but probably. I mean, well, look, it's Pawmot. Like Pawmot was designed to be a direct tie. Yeah, they're like, we're gonna put Pawmot in our MOBA game. Like you never see the defibrillator hands in use, so we're gonna put them in Unite.
That's a huge.
Obviously, they're gonna put. There's no way they don't put the original like GB and GBA games on NSO. Like if they don't do that and have home integration,
waste
it
of
would be
money.
I don't get it. And then like Unova remakes, so that everyone can be sad with the Gen 5 remake.
Like everybody who's ever upset about remakes is 100% because their nostalgia is choking them the fuck out. Now, I didn't have nostalgia for
You gonna tell me BDSP was good?
Hold on. I also did not play BDS, I did not play the Gen 4 remakes. However,
they weren't good.
Compare. They are the exception to the rule. Like every other remake is fine and or makes better.
True.
Like you
want a hot take?
Go ahead.
I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver shouldn't be as loved
Eat my
as it
ass.
is. It's so bad. It is, bro. All they did was update the graphics, update the music, and didn't change a thing when they had a whole 2 extra generations of Pokemon to fix the dog water gym teams of level 9 Pidgeotto and level 7 Pidgey when the game had Pokemon it could have used. No, I will not be having this this loving of Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I'll die on this hill. It's a bad game. The only good thing about it was they had a pedometer in it.
The pedometer was pretty cool.
And Pokemon followed you.
Yeah, and Pokemon. And
they do that. They do that in Pokemon. They do that in Platinum. Like, come on.
No, only in
If you go to Amity Square, you can do it.
A 2-minute section that no one goes to.
You could do it in Gen 8.
And only a select amount of... Yeah, but I see, I was
do it in Gen 9.
I was going to say the only successful implementation of Pokemon walking with you. Every other one is like...
Also, they could pick
move
up
too
items
slow.
to give to you.
Yeah. I guess... Let's Go kind of did a pretty good job of it.
Different game.
But it's a
different idea of a game.
Yeah.
What about Pokemon Let's Go?
That's what we said. It's different.
Oh, I thought you said Pokemon Go.
Doesn't count. It's not
What
canon.
do you mean it doesn't count?
It's not canon.
But
so we're here on the dark side of the ring. Welcome in. It's good to have you, everybody.
What a cold open.
What a great cold open. I don't know where I'm going to start from there. I have 20 minutes to just screw around with.
So if you couldn't tell, we're talking about Pokemon, and that's what this episode is going to be about. We're watching.
No, it's not.
John Cena.
A new Pokemon Stadium would be
Pokemon battle.
Yeah, that would be great. So we're here on the dark side of the ring. I don't know how to introduce this because we've already done this before. Literally with these two incredible guests that I have on, I fucked up the recording of said appearance, but we're here. We've got ourselves.
We're back.
Let me alphabetical order. I gotta remind myself that's right. We've got the Duff Guy Pat. Hello, Pat.
Wait. Because he's the atomic.
Yeah. And then on the other side of the virtual table, the Atomic Bear.
That's me.
It's
said it twice because it was just that nice.
Well, see, there's a wrestler who said it's DDP. As like,
yep, that was exactly what I was going for on the wrestling podcast. That I know much about. Right, yeah,
exactly.
Me making my little niche references.
Exactly. That only true fans would get. True fans like the Atomic
Bear.
Bear.
Of course. Ask me anything.
Yeah, not like that Duff Guy Pat. Not a fan. We'll get to that in a second. So this is Bear. This is your third time because I still haven't uploaded the other thing yet.
Hey, let's be real. Technically fifth.
Technically fifth. So far, you can only hear two other ones.
Yeah.
And same applies for Pat in the sense that this is technically Pat's fourth time on the Dork side. But really, you can only hear two previous ones, and the third one is lost to time. But welcome in, Howard.
It's not lost to time. He just messed up the audio.
I have it. It's going to be lost to time when I delete it because yeah.
Put the watch along on Patreon.
You're not a true production unless you have a piece of lost media. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
That's my point. Yeah, it's like, look, Bear understands. So we've got a fun episode on deck here because I had to go and figure out what else to show these two. But before we get to that, Pat, starting with you, would you like to introduce yourself once again to the lovely Dork side of the ring audience?
Hello, I'm the Atomic Bear.
I don't like this.
I'm bad.
I mixed the pool of guests here. I've mixed, and they're already just figuring
Calamity.
out. They're already like, hey, we're just gonna do the bit where I take your name, you take my name, and then we're gonna go from there. I don't like
Grumm's
this.
substitute teacher.
Yeah, I don't like this.
They'll never know.
I'm not Duff Guy Pat. Wrestling is great. I found out today that preface, Val Venus is a wrestler.
Yes.
I knew his gimmick was that he was a porn star in the WWE universe.
Yeah.
I did not know he had a "Hello, ladies" as his entrance. I didn't know anything about him other than his gimmick, and I'd never seen him wrestle, never seen anything. But I just found out about that today.
Did you listen to his theme music?
Oh yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I wanted to make
After
sure.
I found that out, that's what I listened to.
Who told you this? How'd you find this out? Who told you? I'll gut them. I'll gut them with this screwdriver that I'm holding in my hand for ADD reasons.
No free ads, but it was Coney.
Yeah. Get them.
Coney, come on the pod.
Coney, come on the pod. Val Venus is I did one thing with him when he had his penis chopped off. Because he was sleeping with Mr. Yamaguchi-san's wife, and Mr. Yamaguchi-san's wife is the sister of Taku Michinoku, who turned on Val Venus, and they dragged him to the backstage area, and as Raw went
Turned
off...
him on?
Turned on him. Not turned him on, but turned on him.
What a shame.
Word order matters here. In this instance, because they dragged him through the arena into like this back room, and they put him butt naked, hanging with like his wrist tied to like a hook, like a meat hook almost, butt naked, butt to the camera, dick supposedly on a table, and Mr. Yamaguchi-san takes out this sharp ass katana, and as Raw goes off air, he's slinging down. And then the next week they open Raw, and they're like, Val Venus comes out and he's like, oh man, like he's walking around like he's not happy. He's wearing like this ugly ass suit. He's got John Wayne Bobbitt, who is famous for, being a piece of shit to his wife and his wife cutting his dick off, and then throwing it into the woods. Before she had a change of heart and said, maybe, all right, I'll call the cops and tell them where it is. But then he's like, it got cold, so the big Valboski got short. and I'm still raring to go. And he rips off his suit, and he's wearing
And whips his dick out.
he's wearing his wrestling trunks and
God
a
damn.
pair of Air Jordans. Yeah. But yeah, Val Venus, Dorkside topic alum. Definitely, I do want to do like a full on.
Val Venus, come on the pod.
No, Val Venus, the wrestler, is a bad person, but
Oh.
we will talk about he very he definitely went down the conspiracy pipeline straight to right wing, bullshitting.
Offer rescinded. Val Venus, do not come on the pod.
Offer rescinded. Yes, this is why I'm the host, and that Duff Guy Pat is simply a guest, 3-time
Haha.
4-time guest. Yes. On the other side of the table, Bear, would you like to reintroduce yourself to the lovely Dork Side of the Ring audience?
Well, I'm sure everyone knows me as the host of Dork Side of the Ring, T. Grumm. Been here for 2 years. 2 years, right? Yeah, 2 years.
Episode 74.
It's got to be 2 years. This podcast's been going 2 years minimum, right? Right, Bear?
Loop. Right.
You've been on a few times now.
Oh yeah, multiple times.
For the audio listeners, Grumm is just currently looking down, either checking his phone or looking very sad.
I think he's
that
staring
I've
into that
just done a
screwdriver,
bit.
thinking about plowing it into his eye socket.
It was a screwdriver! Why do you have a screwdriver?
I had to put my shit together somehow.
Oh my god.
How do you think they make the tables that go under the ring?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I build the tables myself. You thought
Magic, I guess.
It is it's my ADD. It's my you know how like sometimes
That's your fiddle toy.
it's my
A
fiddle toy. It's
screwdriver. That's
It's-
definitely one I have. I used
Yeah.
to use floss for a while.
Wait,
As a
just
screwdriver?
Yeah. What you do is you take the flat and you tie it around and you get it real tight and then you just turn it like a wheel.
It's like when Yamato uses wood style and makes the key out of his finger.
Exactly.
I just
Weeb
watched
him, alright?
that.
Weeb him,
I just
alright?
watched that episode today.
Fucking weeb over here.
Shut up, Bear. I know you watch it.
Anime?
Meanwhile,
Never been
Bear's
Anime
latest
profile
content-
pic.
What was that? What was that?
Wait. See, the bit is Bear's about to, and this is I'm recording this screen, so Bear is going to. They're gonna put a new profile pic just to spite Pat, and it's gonna show up, and it's gonna be live on air. So
What to, Chief? What to?
yeah, I don't know. You're the one. You got called out. It's whatever's appropriate. Just you know what you should Palday and Whooper. Like that's the bit.
No, I got it.
Palday and Whooper. Just but yeah, so when you're done that, Bear. Bear is not Grumm. I'm Grumm. Pat is
that's
Pat.
not
Pat is
it.
not Bear. I'm Grumm. And Bear is Bear.
You've never seen me and Bear in the same room.
That is accurate.
Wait, Bear's the one in my mirror.
Oh, that was me the whole time?
That was
You are right. You are right. Yeah, I got it. Just complete.
technically you've never seen me in a room at all.
What if this is the mirror that
If I
we're
look at
looking
this
through
camera
now?
right now, you're definitely in a room. You're
Hey.
You don't know that.
absolutely in a room.
For all
This
that
could be
you
a
could know,
soundstage.
I'm not even a real being. I'm not corporeal.
That
It's
could be.
it's
There
the
might
Biden,
be-
Could just be the
Biden
voice of the
AI
masses.
video.
The voice of the people who know.
No. I've seen Bear out and about.
No,
Yeah.
I'm the voice of the people. I
No.
just know that Heart Gold and Soul Silver are bad games, and I'm the voice of the people.
I will cut your genitalia off.
Please do. I've been waiting. I'm on a waiting list. I just got confirmation from my doctors. I'm
We
living.
love that.
There
We love that for you.
Love it. So, Bear, which you
I do content.
You do content. You do content. Yeah.
That's me.
Wink content. Wink.
Wink content. No, not wink content. Actual content.
Wink. Yeah.
Wink content?
Subscribe to my OnlyFans. I do very sensual winks,
Winks.
at the camera.
That's at
Differently themed every
support.grum.tv.
week. Yep.
Yeah, no. that's it.
Support.grum.tv.
No. You just go to patreon.com/TheAtomicBear, and you can become a patron to Bear's content. Bear does some good stuff. Also, is it the Atomic Bear on Patreon?
It's
Still?
Kayfabe on Patreon.
It's Cave.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's for the Discord.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Well,
Yeah.
I don't find the Atomic Bear on Patreon.
No.
Cave.
It probably end up seeing a pen company, and I can't live with that anymore.
That's why we're going. That's why the
That's why we're
Squidge.
rebranding.
Squidge.
Yeah.
These are-
Squidge.
Oh, they have tactical pens.
That's them, yeah. Every time, real quick, every time they do a sweepstakes on Twitter, I used to get bombarded with notifications being like, "Thanks, the Atomic Bear, for doing your free pen tactile giveaway. Please go to TheAtomicBear.com to buy your free Army Tactical pen." And I replied to every single one of them, being like, "Hey, that's not me."
Well,
That like, and I even emailed them being like, "Hey, we've got like a shared interest here. You make pens, I don't. You've got my name, I've got yours. Let's figure something out. Let's do something." And they never email me back.
cowards.
But I'm guessing they're not
Really?
a company.
Yeah,
Their website
price down.
screams shell company.
Could be a
how could they do me like this? But yeah, I'm not the pen company.
No, the content maker.
Yeah, content
you-
creator, mayhaps.
You can find Bear's content on TikTok, Squidge at
Oh!
SquidgeVT.
That's true. That's true.
That is true. Also on YouTube on Squidge at Squidge.
Yep,
Because YouTube don't need to put the VT in there, so good for you.
that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. I look as somebody who has Grumm on everything. I'd love to have Grumm, but like I don't understand. There's a lot of Grums on the internet all of a sudden. And I don't know where they all came from. I thought I killed them all because there used to be at least 61 of them.
They're coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah. Also, they're all just like, yeah, Power Rangers Space Force, and I'm like, I know Grumm is the villain in that.
Hell yeah, brother.
But I'm better than him because I'm real.
Just to let everyone know, it's Pancake Day today
Is it pancake?
in merry old England. Yeah, it's Pancake Day,
Did you have some-
First.
where you make pancakes. That's all you do. That's all you're allowed to eat today in England. You can only eat pancake mix.
Wait, is that going? Because isn't Mardi Gras today? Wasn't today Fat Tuesday
Fat Tuesday?
in America?
What?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
What is
Ash
Fat
Wednesday, man?
Tuesday?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's
'Cause-
the day before Lent.
yeah.
What is Lent?
Lent's
Lent
like
is the 40 days before Easter.
Yeah, it's basically
Or
you have to
is it
give up
before
something.
Easter or Good Friday? It's one of the
Good
two.
Friday, I think. I think it's Good Friday. Because I know Easter's early this year.
It was Mardi Gras today.
Aha!
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was young, I thought I used to care more about that, even though I never went to Mardi Gras.
Pancake Day, Mardi Gras. I know
It's
which one I'd rather go to.
It's Fat Tuesday where you eat donuts. And you go to like Krispy Kreme and they give you like 50-cent donuts. But you get a dozen donuts for like $6 and you're like, hell yeah.
What?
I
Yeah.
could use some donuts.
Yeah.
Where are my donuts?
You got pancakes.
But now I want.
All right, well, fly over. Unfortunately, by even with the fastest flight, you're not getting here before the end of.
What do you mean?
Fat
Why don't you
Tuesday.
fly to me?
Because I'm not flying to. I got work in the morning.
He doesn't have wings.
Yeah, but where would you rather visit? England?
Or cemetery.
Yeah, I live next to one. So hey, you could work there.
All right, sounds good. Off the rails. I was like, man, I wonder how long it'll take before this episode just gets to.
It was never on
It's-
the rails.
it's-
It was never
Oh.
going to be on the rails.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely off the rails.
Keep it
Absolutely.
in context. Keep it in context.
What? Oh,
Just keeping everything together.
yeah.
Keep it
yeah,
all.
You're right. Keep
We
it
could
all-
reference the last part. I could reference that I watched that entire 2-hour video on Super Mario and Luigi.
Oh, you
video.
did?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did watch
no,
it
did you?
actually.
Great video.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Just told me how bad the Bowser's Inside Story remaster is. It made me really sad. That's my
See,
favorite one.
That's a bad remaster, Bear.
Yeah, just like Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
No.
They didn't fix any of the gyms. They didn't fix the level curve. They didn't fix the routing. They didn't fix anything. They put in no one can understand you, and you're being unsatisfying to the ears of the
Single
audio
players,
listeners.
singles players. Sleepy fuck.
The only decent thing that Heart Gold and Soul Silver had was the Battle Frontier. And guess what? That was in platinum.
I sent Pat the link of the Joe Biden and
The
Donald
Joe
Trump
Biden VGC? Yeah, it's so good.
Pat's like, wait, they got a VGC.
This is where I'm gonna go to work.
Yeah, just fucking, who uses Ice Spinner on a Dragonite in
In
series
season 2. So good. I love those. Those AI videos are taking storm on Twitter.
They are funny as
I
hell.
went to the beach that makes you old. How can a beach make you old?
I don't understand. Like, I understand how it works. I just don't. This is more.
But I'm not
more
complaining.
More proof that like technology advancing way too fast. Like they're
Yeah.
Good.
wait. Send the meteor now or push
Wow.
the button, one of the two. I don't want to live in the world where like during a political season like they're using AI to be like, this is Joe saying this. And
Hey, fun fact. Did you know that they're making an AI defense robot called Skynet?
Hell yeah.
I'm not. I wish I was joking.
I'm not against it. I am. Now, is it a defense robot against AIs or against just general threats?
I think it's against people.
Okay. Yeah. No. So.
Don't fact check me on that.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's fantastic. That's good. Well, before then, let's get a couple episodes of Dork Side in so that maybe our AI overlords can come across this and let that influence them a bit.
Is that what we're
Exactly.
doing?
That's what now I am. Yes, the shifting the content direction of Dorkside from talking about wrestling to trying to persuade the influence of AI bots coming across our
Spare
content.
me. Actually, no. Kill me first.
Kill me
Please.
first.
Oh my god. And before we get like a Grumm, you need to do this. You should do an AI Royal Rumble on stream.
I've done that before. You mean like
With
the
AIs.
with the actual AIs. Like get like
Yeah,
like the
something-
Bing AI, get chatbot.
Yeah, exactly. Get ChatGPT. ChatGPT to do it at Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Actually wouldn't be a bad idea. Might do, yeah, you know what? That actually where's my content book?
See? The little noggin do be working tonight.
Look at that. On fire. Let me just do that. AI Royal Rumble. Cuz I do the sub rumble where you take the,
Exactly.
But now
Copyright. This is copyright.
Yeah.
You can't produce
Copyright.
This
Yeah,
for anyone
copyright.
Anyone who hears this, you can't do that.
Yeah, can't do
we
that.
take-
Cease and
We take
desist.
dibs. We got dibs.
Dibs. I'm going to hit you with a cease and desist even if you did this already cuz you didn't cease and desist.
I'll sign the witness.
Thank you. I'll slide some money on the ad revenue. All 47 cents.
Wait.
I'll give you 50% of the ad revenue, so a whole 3 cents.
Ooh, may as well call me Twitch.
But yeah, Bear. So
Oh, God.
we've talked about your professional wrestling experience a little bit in the past, where you don't have any outside of the dork side of the ring. Of the things you've seen, because you've seen an entire wrestling event,
I have.
2 Hell in a Cell matches,
I have.
and a Inferno match, and the Ultimate Warrior puking because of voodoo.
Yeah. The ultimate puke.
What is the best thing you've seen, or maybe not the best thing?
Ooh.
What is the most like dork side thing you have seen in your time?
The most dork side thing is when me and Myth were on and you made us do the "Is that wrestler real?"
Oh, you know
That's
what?
the most dork side thing.
Would you like to play another game of shoot or kayfabe?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Pat, would you like to
My
be
favorite
on
game.
this episode, at this edition of Shoot or Kayfabe?
I don't think I have a choice at this point.
You're right, you don't. So basically, for some of you, I will go through this, but I will give you a name of a wrestler, and you will decide if they are shoot, which is real, or kayfabe, which is fake. Kayfabe, funny enough, is just pig Latin for fake.
Okay.
All right. So first up, the Shockmaster.
You know, it'd be great,
Real.
Grumm, for this
Real.
this part as well.
Yeah.
You do. I'm gonna go back to the AI thing.
Yeah.
Type in the fake wrestler names and have it
Please.
AI generate a picture and be like, oh yeah, that looks real, I guess.
That's a good one. That's a good. Okay.
What's
yeah.
his special move, Grumm?
The Shockmaster?
Yeah. What's his
Yeah.
ultimate move?
His ultimate, like his finishing move, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the electroshock.
Oh. Okay, last time we did this, I can't remember if all of them were real or if all of them were fake. And I feel like Grumm is the kind of person to just go full force on one answer. So this will determine the rest of the thing. So I'm a shoot. I think this guy's real.
All right, you're saying real.
I'm saying real, and the reason he is the shock master, he either has like one of those stun batons, or like a taser, or like some sort of weapon that he shocks people with,
Oh, that he hides.
Okay. That's not.
or just keeps it in his boot.
Well, you're both right in that he is real. However, Pat, you could not be any more wrong of what you think the Shockmaster looks like. I'm gonna put.
Oh, he has a gun?
No.
He's a stormtrooper? Bro, it looks like a robot chicken stormtrooper. Like it.
He's blinked up.
Emperor Palpatine, it's time for the disco. Like, you know, like.
He's blinking up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So next up, shooter kayfabe, tugboat.
Please take me out of dinner first. Tugboat. I bet you if this guy doesn't stroll in like a little rinky-dink canoe, I'll be very upset. Or like some kind of boat, and all of his moves are like boat themed. Like, let me hit him with the port punch.
Okay.
Hit him with the poop deck,
So-
you know?
Okay. All right. So shooter kayfabe, real or fake?
Shoot, 100%. If it's fake, I'm gonna be so upset.
Okay. Pat.
Shoot, it sounds too ridiculous to. I
You
mean,
think-
if Shockmaster is a stormtrooper, anything goes.
You think the fact that you're like, yeah, no, this is what I'm basing it off of. This character being real, yeah, no, but tugboat is in fact real.
Yes!
It's Popeye.
Yes, it is.
Oh my
Popeye.
god. He just wore it. Does he eat anything on stage to gain power?
No, he's just tugboat. He's just.
What are his? Does he have any?
Let's hear-
Does he have any
let's hear
signature
more
moves?
about this tugboat character.
I don't remember his signature move. So basically, he was a character that was created to gain sympathy for like Hulk Hogan got put out, and he was like, "Come on, everybody, let's get behind Hulk Hogan. Let him know he you know, even though he's not here, he can feel us, you know, type shit. Like it's very cheesy '80s type stuff, and basically he got over because he's this big guy who go woo woo like literally do the tugboat noises. No, that's not my tugboat.
Oh.
Bro, what? Okay, so one of his moves is called Tidal Wave.
Great.
He has the Shockmaster Splash.
Oh,
or
so
Big
this is
Splash.
all the same
This is
people.
the same guy.
This is
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
same person. huh?
Yeah. Bear went and researched this. I was gonna do at least two more.
Let's see. We need the
Oh,
other two.
sorry, I'll turn it off. I'll stop looking.
So
Let's hear the other two.
all right. Well, the next one was going to be Typhoon.
Oh,
That's
know what?
a
You
good
got this
wrestler
one.
Name. That's a good wrestler name.
Yeah. So Typhoon is real, and that's
hell
him
yeah.
as Typhoon. Yes, he teamed
Yeah.
with Earthquake as the natural disasters.
Grumm, you should have told me not to Google it.
I should have. I meant to.
I outwardly went, hey, I'm going to check his moves. And Grumm goes, yeah, that won't go any bad if the bear checks
little
the
did
I
wiki,
didn't even,
right?
Yeah, no, I was just like, oh man, like I'm sure the wiki doesn't have, like the Shockmaster splash. I was like, ah, shit.
It even says at the top of the wiki, Tugboat, also known as Typhoon.
His names are great. Yeah, Big
All right, what's the
Bubba,
last one?
Big Man. Well, now I have to find. All right, I got two more. I got two more.
Okay.
How many personas does he have?
Who? No, this is not the same guy. Not the same guy.
Okay.
All right, not the same guy. But the Great Powerful Oz, real or fake?
That's real.
I mean, I've seen The Wizard of Oz. I know he's fake.
Okay. All right. He's real.
You know how I know that?
Shit.
You know how I know that?
How?
Because that came up last time with me and Myth.
Did we? Did it? Oh shit! It did. Right. I need to do a better. But yeah, no, that's
Repeat
My
bits.
memory.
yeah.
Repeat bits.
But yeah, Kevin Nash portrayed the Great Powerful Oz for WCW because they had just got the rights to air.
Yeah.
The Wizard of Oz.
That's
so
a
funny.
dead man.
That's not a dead
That's a
man.
corpse.
No, that's not. No,
That's not Corpse Husband.
And last one, Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely real.
You think
Nah,
that's
this
a real?
one's fake.
You think
Nah, this
that's
one's fake.
All right. So you're saying you? I mean,
That sounds like an Andre the Giant, like, alternative universe.
Alternate skin. He can swap on the menu.
It's like,
That's his Echo Fighter from
but
Smash.
Brutus the
It's Andre
Barber
the Giant
Beefcake.
if he was a barbershop quartet member.
Okay. All right. Well, he is a real. Brutus the Barber Beefcake is real. Not only is he real, he's the topic of what we're talking about today. We're going to this much like Typhoon and Shockmaster. We did talk about the performer on this before, twice actually. First time was talking about the Booty Man, where he was just the Booty Man in WCW, and then later we ended up talking about him as part of the One Warrior Nation when the Ultimate Warrior returned to wrestling in '98 to feud with Hulk Hogan in the NWO, and Hulk Hogan had a sidekick by the name of the Disciple, and he turned him on, the Ultimate
A lot of
Warrior.
religious discussion this week.
Yeah. But his most well-known gimmick is Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and just this month was actually his, I believe, the 35th anniversary of him getting into a parasailing accident. No, maybe 33rd, I think. In like the late 80s, early 90s, he got in a parasailing accident that kind of like put his entire career and life on, in jeopardy. But I figured, hey, why not talk about Brutus Barber Beefcake? He's somebody who is kind of looked at as a joke because he's basically just been Hulk Hogan's real life friend. And that kind of got him a lot of jobs, nepotism and whatnot. But at one time, he was insanely over. And people just really, really liked Brutus the Barber Beefcake. So we're going to watch a little bit about him. But that makes me ask a question of if there was a occupation that you think could be a really good wrestler, like, shtick persona, right? Because we've got a couple. We've had, like, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, The Undertaker. I've talked about the Goon, which is like a hockey player. There's been Isaac Yankem, an evil wrestling dentist. So, are there any that come to mind that would make for a great wrestler? And if you do come up with one, and it is one, I'll let you know.
Well, Kevin Owens is just a podcast host.
Kevin Owens?
Yeah, current Kevin Owens.
He's
Kevin Owens, the KO show.
You're saying because he just comes out and rip t-shirts and shorts and jeans, that's it?
Yeah.
Wait, you saying Kevin Owens?
Yes, that's
his name.
Kevin.
So when I thought you said Cameron Owens from Star Wars for a second. And I was like, whoa, that's a bit strange.
the long boys.
A long boy.
So podcast host. It'd be solid. I mean, yeah, there's definitely definitely.
Ooh, have we got any samurai
Have we
wrestlers
had any
of note?
We definitely had some. The '80s definitely
Gotta.
had some racially insensitive like ninja. We actually, I shouldn't say the '80s because there was one in 2020 where Akira Tozawa was a ninja, but not a full on samurai. Not like full on like comes out with the sword and either wearing like the armor of a samurai or wearing like the casual wear. The name is escaping me, but like comes out wearing like the robe and the
kimono, like
sandal, kimono kind of, but like for the men, and wearing like the wooden like platform sandals.
The two like platform. Yeah.
No, not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. Bear, you have any occupational gimmicks?
The Postman.
Postman, that's a good one.
That's one of my wrestlers from the second sub. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. One of my old GTRP characters
Let me see. I don't think there's been a mailman.
was just a superhero that was the Postman. Oh, do you know what'd be sick? You know those restaurants where they cook in front of you and they go ting 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 ting.
Oh, like
Hibachi chef?
Like hibachi chef.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
You get some pyrotechnics
You
involved now.
definitely, yeah.
A pirate. There's gotta be a pirate, right?
They squirt
gotta
the
be a
sake
pirate
and someone
wrestler.
dies.
Yeah, exactly. There's gotta be a pirate wrestler, right?
Oh yes, there is. Paul Burchill. For sure. There was also Jean-Pierre Lafitte, who stole Bret Hart's jacket. He was a one-eyed pirate.
Nice. Like a fry cook.
Like he was he really had like one good eye, and they were like, "Yeah, let's make you a pirate."
Yeah, you're a pirate now.
The other one was a Jack Sparrow inspired gimmick. Paul Burchill was like, I come from a long line of pirates. Like one week he's just a normal dickhead guy, and he's like, I come from a long line of pirates. And the next week he's like, comes out, he swings out to the ring, and he's swashing. He's got the whole like, yes, his music exactly sounds like that.
Yeah.
He looks like Jack Sparrow. He's got the eyeliner and everything, and he's got the whole like pirate sword. All because Vince McMahon in 2008 saw the first Pirates of the Caribbean, which the first one came out in like what 2002, 2003.
Yeah, so
by 2008, the first trilogy was done. And he just saw the first one, and he was like, "Oh, goddamn,
Yes.
idea.
Yes.
Wow, that's
I was gonna say when they get a content creator character, I'm like, oh no, that would make me wanna curl up because technically there's already content creators. There's one. There's the one that makes me laugh all the time. It's not WWE. It's the other one.
AEW.
I don't know what it's called. Yeah. They get do you know the Da Vinci twins? You know those?
Yeah, they got
Wrestlers?
yeah, they
They're
are
wrestlers.
They're actual wrestlers. Yeah.
Oh my
They
God.
literally remind me of I feel like their gimmick should be Mario and Luigi Super Bro moves because that should be their gimmick. It is that they're so goofy. And I saw
there's
That's
so
who they
wild.
remind me of.
Meat. Muppet.
Meat. They remind me of Meat from the Muppets.
Da
no,
Vinci?
Da Vinci? Yeah.
But yeah,
Talk about taking advantage of your 15 minutes.
I feel like
Wait,
the issue
15
with
minutes?
like 50 minutes of fame.
Oh.
The thing is there are wrestlers who people slander for just calling them streamers, like Adam Cole, like his whole they're like, oh, he's just a streamer who wrestles, or Soraya, whatever. There are pro wrestlers who do stream, but are there? I don't think there's really any that like their gimmick is that they are a live streamer, because I've talked about this before, how like live streaming content creation is very much like pro wrestling in that you have to make people feel emotions strong enough to either support you or wish upon your
dislike you.
downfall. So, and for a lot of content creators, it's very easy to do the latter than the former, so they go with the easy hanging fruit. But like, for like a pro wrestler to like be like, all right, I'm going to be, my character's gimmick is that they are a streamer. Okay, but why do they wrestle? Like, that's kind of where it comes down to, is like, why does your character wrestle when they could just stream? And like, you know, where it's like, all right, well, like, that's a good point. But there's been times where wrestlers use streaming as part of like a storyline. The one that comes to my mind is back in 2020, Zelina Vega was feuding, and her tag team of Andrade and Garza were feuding with the Street Profits. And Bianca Belair had just debuted. Her husband is one half of the Street Profits. And Zelina Vega is on stream playing a game. And the Monday before, she had like, it was suggested that like she poisoned Montez Ford, who is Bianca Belair's husband. And so like, it's like very like, everybody's like wondering, but then when you go back and watch like what happened, you're like, oh shit, like she put something in his water. So while Zelina is playing video games live on Twitch, Bianca Belair attacks her. Like, it just starts beating the shit out of her in real life, right? You know, and people are like, what the fuck is going on? Because there are people who don't understand wrestling, but they just see a beautiful woman playing video games, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this. But then they just see Bianca Belair come in and just start beating her up, and they're like, somebody call 911! Somebody call 911! And they just end. That's how she ends the stream. It's fucking hilarious, because she's just minding her own business, knowing that Bianca is right there because it's all part of the show. And she's like, all right, like, just come when you come. It's just like, wow, bah, bah, bah. Starts beating the shit out of her. It is hilarious. But other than that, there's not been really like there should be a streamer character. But there's not, unfortunately. Are you pulling up? Yeah.
Get me in there. Get me in there.
I just pulled up the video.
Yeah. She's just minding her own business, and then Bianca comes in and just fucking fucks her up. Twitch, I'm just gonna say it.
That's hilarious.
Like, there's obviously streamers who wrestle and wrestlers who stream, so like it gets tough to be like, oh, like what's the, you know, like find the difference. But like, yeah, I mean, it could be done. Like, your whole shtick is that like you like, it'd be very funny if you were a pro wrestler and you have like a VTuber, right? And there's just this VTuber shit talking the person you're in a feud with.
Well,
right?
now we're getting real close to Real Steel, the movie.
Right? Maybe that's.
I would love to have Hugh Jackman be like controlling me on how to fight. I mean,
it's fair. No, that's good. Yeah.
Great.
Real Steel, man. We're a couple of years from Real Steel being a thing, but
dude, that'd be sick.
I'm excited, dude.
We already technically. Well, I mean, we're technically there because of Robot Wars.
Yeah, but no. Like, there's a different. You're absolutely right, but also, like, I want a 15, 20-foot robot fighting another 15, 20-foot robot. You know, that's pretty cool. Right now, it's just like, you know, the size of like a laptop. It's a laptop with death traps.
No, the Wheelie Big Cheese is pretty big. It's in the name, okay?
Wheelie Big Trees is pretty big. This is true. It's true.
That's a great robot.
My favorite one was the one who had the pincer. Would just come down.
Oh, and just, Razor.
Yeah, and would just. Their whole thing was like it's got a diamond cutting thing, and I remember watching it for the first time. Like, all right, like that's
my two big favorites.
I like wrestling. They're just talking. They're just bullshitting, and then he just goes boom right through the first thing. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, he went through diamond plate. Okay.
Two of my favorites are Wheelie Big Cheese, and I like Gemini, because Gemini can split off into two robots.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool.
Really big cheese.
Yeah, Gemini splitting off is pretty good.
All it does, it looks like it has two baby bells on the side, and all it does is whack its mouth open to flip people. That's all it does.
So good. So good. There was another. I always enjoyed the Executioner. Like the referee who comes in and just like, you know, if you're stationary, and like would grab you with one claw and pick you up, and then with
I think it was like Mom something or something.
Yeah, wasn't it? It was just called Mom, right? Was it Robot
something? I had the game when I was a kid where you could make your own. Yes, the one of them's called the Executioner. No, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, Refbot. Refbot's great because also it's just like just the most like, you know, polite looking robot.
Oh god, The amount of nostalgia I'd get from watching this.
Jeremy Clarkson was the presenter of this show.
No, well, one season.
The first season.
Yeah.
The main season is the guy from Red Dwarf. I
Craig
forget his name.
Charles.
Sir
Craig
Kill-A-Lot.
Charles.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Sir Kill-A-Lot.
That's the one you think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig Charles was a great host for Robot Wars.
Matilda, Dead Metal, Sergeant Best, Shunt. All good.
They just need to bring back Gladiator next, and then we're all good.
But we're talking about Brutus Brutai,
Wrestling.
Brother Brutai.
I have one more
Yeah.
proposition.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
Has there been a match where someone wrestles in animal, where it's just a person in an animal suit, and the person in the suit doesn't say anything the entire time?
Yes. Several. There was Jack Swagger's eagle mascot. There was Adam Rose's bunny. There's been a couple other ones, but yeah, those are some mascot wars, some good stuff.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, and the thing is that's just Chavo Guerrero, who is like, third generation, like historic wrestling family, and he's just wearing an eagle mascot because they're like, we got nothing else for you, but
It looks like they're doing like a high school assembly, and they've got the mascot to come out and like teach them the lessons.
Like the hype man.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It looks like Jack Swagger right there is pretending to be All Might, and then there's just an eagle next to him. Like that's his.
It's Hawks. It's Hawks.
But yeah, so we're talking about brother Brutai, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, unintentionally maybe the first occupational gimmick in WWE history. We're going to watch his WrestleMania 3 involvement, which just the end of his match and the end of the following match, where he becomes Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and then we're going to watch him defeat Mr. Perfect at WrestleMania 6 from Toronto. We're going to watch that, and we'll be back here on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. Hey everybody, taking a moment out of the podcast just to tell you a little bit about what we got going on at support.grumm.tv. This week we're going to have the watch along from the Lion's Den episode. Myself, It's Only Jill, and JoJo Says Brie. We're going to be having the watch along that will be up on the Patreon just for the Elite and the Elite of the Elite, as well as on their early access to next week's episode, which we'll talk about at the end of the episode. And we're going to have the early launching of early access to the AEW Revolution preview that I was talking about. I'll probably also post my progress with some other projects I'm working on, and then since it's at the end of the month, I'll have the what to look forward to for March as well. That's all at support.grumm.tv. The Patreon, how you can help us financially if you so choose. If you wish to continue to do so for free, continue to do so. I appreciate you continue just listening, leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, following us on Twitter at DorksideRing, DorksideRing. That's for the Instagram, that's for the Twitter. I appreciate it. Tell your friends about us too. Let's get back to that episode, huh? That was Brutus the Barber Beefcake. We're back on the Dork Side
It's
of the
hard
Ring.
to say.
First impressions of Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Wrestling's come a long way, huh?
It has. It has.
It did a lot of shaking.
A lot of shaking.
A lot
A
of shit.
lot of bacon.
Not
lot
enough
of-
bacon.
A lot of really intense sells.
And to sell that intense on like what amounts to just a wooden block, like no give, no give, no, like the rings nowadays have a lot more give. That's just imagine like falling on an auditorium stage. That's basically what it felt like.
Oof.
You know.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. You're like, oh yeah, no, I remember how stiff that. Yeah. First impressions of just Brutus the Barber, himself, the character.
The guy knows how to dress.
He's got Riz. He's got the style.
He's got the Riz. Brutus the Riz God. He really, there's some that, like, it's funny because, like, in pro wrestling, like, in a very visual aesthetics and, like, body base, like, appearance, Brutus always had some interesting gear compared to his contemporaries. Like, he's got the see-through gear except for on his ass crack and his crotch.
That's the only place you need it.
Where you want it to be?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-oh.
But no, the opposite. You want it, you know, I feel like
Only place you're legally supposed to have.
Yeah, I should say, like,
Damn.
he's basically wearing a loincloth with tights, basically. And, like, it made sense for when he was a bad guy, because, like, his whole thing was, like, I'm Brutus Beefcake. I'm a beefcake. And, like, he's still Brutus Beefcake, but he's the barber. I would like my barbers to be dressed a little bit
Less sensual.
less revealing.
Imagine they're doing the sides and they come like he comes up right next to your face with that like no shirt only. He's the Zohan.
He is this.
He's the Zohan. Oh.
Zohan didn't have puns like him though. He had
No, he didn't.
Like that's just one promo that he did. It was right before his match at WrestleMania 6, but to be like, oh, like I severed his record at a pretty good clip. Very, very clean. That's a good use of the gimmick puns, I think.
Yeah,
like,
very clean.
He didn't even get to cut Mr. Perfect's hair.
No, he didn't.
Disappointing.
That's a shame.
But he did cut the Genius's hair, which, fun story about that. I believe that's what got, like, Randy Savage really... I think Randy Savage got really, really upset with that because the Genius is his baby brother. Mm-hmm. And, he's just like, oh, I gotta look out for Lanny, blah, 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 blah. And I don't think he was supposed to cut a lot of hair. And I cut it off. He goes, basically just cuts it down to where it's got to be a buzz cut now. Mm-hmm. And Randy Savage is like, he's taking liberties with my brother, pal. And, like, he's, like, confronting Hogan because that's Hogan's guy. He's like, your guy is messing with my brother. Oh, what's your big deal? What's your big deal? But you're cutting my brother's hair. Yeah, that's the problem for me. Yeah, you want to cut my brother's hair? Yeah. Tell him, meet him at the salon. Get it nice and done. Nice trim. Yeah, not in the ring, pal. Yeah.
Brother, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you don't.
You two boys need to stop fighting. That's the mom. They never introduced.
Miss Elizabeth, she's just like, what? Stop, Randy. But he also cut adorable Adrian Adonis's hair and helped Roddy Piper win his last match, or what was advertised as like his going away match, which I mean,
the retirement tour.
Everybody knew he wasn't going to like stay away forever, so they were just like, yeah, whatever. I think he like wrestled that match, went and did the fuck, what is it, the what movie you seeing where it's I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass and I'm all out of bubblegum? They live.
Isn't that?
I think that's
isn't that
They
Duke
Live.
Nukem?
Yeah, They Live. I watched that. I watched that 6 months ago.
Oh yeah, how was it? I never watched it.
Great. Terrific movie. It's a great way to spend.
Which movie?
However long, an hour and a half. It's called They Live. It has Keith David in it.
Yeah, it's
I
the whole
didn't even
thing
know
is
that
like
came.
it's kind of like a Body Snatchers thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Where only certain people, you need certain sunglasses to see whether people are alien.
Ooh. And he's here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
And he's all out of ass.
And it's all out of ass.
I'm here to chew ass and kick bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Oh.
But yeah, so Brutus the Barber Beefcake, that's probably his high point. He does end up winning the tag team titles with Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 9. But yeah, he doesn't do much after. Like, he goes to WCW with Hulk Hogan. He becomes the Zodiac, the Booty Man, the Disciple. He's got a couple other names. I thought about doing all of them for the thing. Let's see. Big Brother Booty, the Booty Man, Brute Force, the Butcher, the Disciple, Ed Boulder, the Mariner, the Man with No Face, the Man with No Name, and the Zodiac. But yeah, he's obviously best known. when he was the Zodiac,
He was known as Brute Force in Australia.
Ooh,
he was
that's
once
great.
known from being. He was billed from the land of yin and yang. What?
He lived in Boston for a little while.
Yeah, no,
you in Boston, huh? God.
he's been married 3 times. He's got 1 kid. Like, although one
He's
was in
correct.
for 16 years, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Ends in divorce, but
Oh.
but yeah, he was like weirdly over, but then also like no one takes him serious. Like, just no one does. And like, why would you?
He's a gimmick.
He's a gimmick.
He's a
right?
barber.
He's a barber.
Yeah.
So as a barber, okay, we all get haircuts, right?
Here and there.
Okay. How much would it take for you to get your haircut from Brutus the Barber Beefcake?
He seems like a professional barber. If it's not in a wrestling ring.
Well, see, I was going to ask, does it have to be in a wrestling ring?
No.
Yeah.
It's at his salon, his barber
His
shop,
salon.
his barber shop.
Damn.
Do I get? It wouldn't take
I don't
much.
Okay.
No, I mean,
Like a free haircut?
well,
Yeah.
hold on.
Okay,
Yeah.
Pat said free haircut.
I'll
What
take a
about
free
you, Bear?
haircut from him.
Okay.
Wait, is he paying me money to get it?
I asked, what would it take for you to get a haircut from Brutus the Barber Beefcake?
Alright, yeah, he give me like a couple hundo. He's rich enough, right?
Okay, but like he said, Brutus says $50 to let him cut.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Sure, I'll do that.
So all right. What about 25?
I can't do much for 25.
Okay.
You
So
can get a better haircut afterwards.
Oh, you can fix it, yeah.
you get a better haircut a week or 2 from now when the hair starts to grow back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get
I
you
don't know.
food.
I feel like I feel like a free haircut. I do. Yeah. As long as I'm not paying. Yeah.
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 Would you let him shave you, Grumm?
Ooh.
How much to shave the beard from beef?
From
It's a good question.
Brutus the Beefcake.
Brutus the beef.
I would say. Damn. I would say.
Ooh, I got him.
I
got him.
$100?
To get rid of the beard? That's your whole brand.
It's not even the. It's not even.
It's like wrestling, beard, Pokemon on the 3. Like that's the.
But it's like he's doing, so he's a wrestler, right? So that, like, I make content out of it, so I can make the content out of shave my beard and then get some money. I would probably do it for cheaper if it wasn't for the fact that I'm concerned about him near my neck.
You
know.
just shake
You know
him
he's
up.
not. You know he's not going to use clippers. He's going to just go full.
Yeah,
like-
Scissors everywhere.
Yeah.
He's not going to use a. He's not going to use a straight blade.
No.
He's just going to use scissors.
yeah. So like,
He's a butter knife.
yeah. So maybe now I'm thinking about. Oh, God, Lord. I hope not. No, please don't. Absolutely not. Now I think about it, like 150. Because now I think
150?
Pat's right. He's not gonna use like clippers or straight razor. He's gonna use scissors, which means I have to go in and finish it. Like, he's only gonna get it down so far, and then I have to go and clean it up myself. So yeah, I'd say probably, which means I probably would have to do My side 250, because then I'd have to make my sideburns myself.
Oh, I see. It keeps going up, doesn't it? It's gonna keep going up.
Because I don't know, because like I do the sideburns, right, and I'd probably fuck them up, and then it would be like right here, and then I look like a moron because.
You know what would have been great if you had like a Dollar Shave Club sponsor. That would have been the perfect segue.
You're right.
At Dollar Shave Club, sponsor the pod.
Not sponsored. We're not.
Or
sponsored.
Or Manscaped, you know.
Or Manscaped.
Or
Hit Grumm up, honestly.
Yeah, I got a beard.
Harry's Razors, come on.
He does.
Yeah, I do need to get the bottom of my neck a little bit better. I just
Ooh,
use like
I don't, because
I just use
facial hair icky.
I just use
Something that I don't think is talked about enough.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Grumm's beard's real. Look how different the color is from his hair.
That is actually accurate.
No,
It doesn't get talked about enough.
It is real. Like look,
Not ginger on top, ginger on bottom.
It is real. Look, I'm pulling on it.
That's some good Gorilla Glue you've got there.
It's not Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, remember,
it's actual.
remember that girl that put Gorilla Glue in her hair early in the pandemic?
Oh my god, don't. Yeah, that
No,
was.
what?
You didn't know about that, Grumm?
Hold on. What?
Oh my god. So this girl ran out of like her hairspray stuff, right? So she couldn't keep like her hair down. So she used Gorilla Glue spray to keep her hair down, and it stayed like it for months, right?
Oh,
Like
God.
she just had a glued head, and that no one could help her.
Considering the article I just pulled up said she finally got the Gorilla Glue out of her hair.
Yeah, it took like so long. She had to go to like a surgeon and have like surgery to get the glue out of her hair.
And the official Gorilla Glue Twitter account had to release a statement. We are very sorry to hear about the unfortunate incident that Miss Brown experienced using our spray adhesive on her hair. We're glad to see in her recent video that Miss Brown has received medical treatment from her local medical facility, and wish her the best.
I tell you who could have helped. Brutus the Beefcake. Yeah, he could have helped.
I love this one. The Gorilla Glue girl never wanted her nickname. Yeah, of course, no one wants to be known as that. Like, what could be worse than being known as the Gorilla Glue person?
The problem is, right, you gotta feel bad for it, because that does suck. However, what compelled you to think, yeah, I'm sure Gorilla Glue's gonna work?
Right? Like,
the whole thing where it says on the packaging, don't put on your skin.
I have found
The skin's not hair. It's not the same thing.
That's true.
I have found a follow-up article from December of 2021. Gorilla Glue girl
has another
hair mishap.
I saw that too.
No, she did it again.
Chemicals used to remove the glue from her hair. This interacted with the dye, causing her mane to melt.
What?
Wow.
So, as noted by TMZ, Tessica attempted to dye her hair dark brown to cover grays when her scalp started to burn and clumps of hair began falling out.
Okay.
Wow.
It's like
Then traveled to La Fue Hair Clinic in Pasadena, California for emergency help to save her hair and scalp. The
La Fue Hair Clinic, sponsor the pod.
Yeah, the New York Post reported that Tessica's representative shared that, quote, the chemicals used to remove the glue from her hair this year interacted with the dye, causing her mane to melt. So it was, Jesus.
At least it wasn't her fault this time.
No. But, I mean, you could say it is her fault, because...
Well, when you're dyeing your hair, I don't think you would assume that it would... Like, she was, 10 months out from that? From, recovering it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't necessarily think that it would destroy your scalp.
That's...
No, but, like...
That's terrible.
Yeah, no, that sucks. That's... Again... You're like, all right, finally I can start living my life without being known as the Gorilla Glue girl. And immediately something else happens and people, all they just say is, the Gorilla Glue girl had another hair mishap. No, good Lord.
That's so bad.
That's brutal. What? No, I don't put any product in my hair. It's all natural. That's just my hair naturally fighting gravity after taking a year or two off from fighting gravity. Remember, I had long hair. Like, lusciously long hair.
You did. You really did. Your hair was great, and you let it go.
I said I couldn't do it. It's too much.
Just so you can keep. Yeah. It takes forever to wash, right?
I needed Brutus to offer to cut my hair. That's what I should have done. Should have had Brutus the Barber Beefcake cut my hair way earlier than I got it cut. You think he does home trips? You think he shows up and goes? You go, hey Brutus, hey Brutus, can you come by my house? I need a quick shape up real quick.
Yeah.
It's just like
That'd be so silly. Yeah, just rock him up, being like, "Yo, how's it hanging?"
What do you think is in his travel bag?
Scissors. That's it. I don't think he even has a bag. I think he just kind of has them in a holster on his side, like a mid 2000s like cell phone little clip holder.
Like a beeper?
Yeah, like a beeper.
Yeah.
The bar. What do you think? Like Batman? Well, I give him a little bit more credit. I think he's got like some hairspray. So I think he's got like a utility belt like Batman that has got like a pair of clippers, some gel, a hairspray, like, but it's in like a little spritz bottle. So it's not like it doesn't go. Psh, so he has to spritz it very fast.
Yeah.
Like this. And a comb. I do think he would have a comb.
Well, as far as we know,
And napkins in case he cuts
Yeah.
it. He just puts a little napkin on.
as far as we know, Brutus has never given a haircut outside of a wrestling ring. So
That's
I think
accurate.
He rents a truck and brings a wrestling ring to the house.
That
And you have to have a wrestling
You
match
have-
with him. So,
you have
he's
to
only
beat
used
him in a
cutting, like,
fight.
sweaty, mangled hair. So like he needs to be in that environment.
no, I don't think so. No, certainly. I'm changing 500. 500 now for Brutus to cut my hair.
To
I gotta-
wrestle Brutus to Barber
If I
Beefcake.
have to wrestle Brutus and lose to get my hair cut, no, I'm laying down
And he-
immediately. Like
No, he won't let you do that. He wants to play with his food.
why did you say
Yeah.
it like that? Why did you say it like that? He wants to play with his food. I'm not a food. I'm a customer. I'm a client. All right.
Yeah, and your payment is a wrestling match.
Jesus. I mean, one hand, I do get to wrestle Brutus Barber Beefcake. He was a WWE Hall of Famer. On the other hand, I have to wrestle Brutus Barber Beefcake. Nah.
Honestly, sounds kind of worth it though. Come on, that could be good content. Oh, come on, Grumm. You need to rent out like a wrestling ring and bring like someone who's currently in like the low leagues of wrestling content, or like someone who's like a wrestler but they haven't hit WWE yet, and you have to do a wrestling match with them.
And just be like,
Or you
and
fly me out.
And
And if I
Fly
lose,
me out.
And if I lose, Brutus the Barber Beefcake has to cut my hair.
Yeah, he's there with his little scissors going.
Meanwhile, all it is just me failing to do anything of note and losing, just so I can get a haircut and make content out of it. It's not a bad idea. It's not. I've had worse ideas. I've had very much worse ideas. I don't know if Katie would go for that.
I can convince him.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. I feel like
I'm very persuasive.
I feel like Katie.
yeah,
is the only-
if we yell loud enough, Katie will hear us and she'll run in.
I don't think she would run in. She's not camera adverse, but she's not. She don't want to be on camera right now. She's gonna be like, no, I'm not. She's probably hearing this, and she got these. She's got these a while ago, so before we moved in with each other. But the other day when we were watching the Elimination Chamber, it was like the first time that like I watched the pay-per-view in this new apartment we're living in, and she was like, "You are having too good of a time. It is so loud." She's got like the sound dampening earbuds, and she was like reading her book, and I was like, "Oh my god, am I that loud?" She goes, "Yeah." She couldn't lie to me. She couldn't lie. She's like, a little bit, yeah. But she's like, but you're having a good time. I'm like, oh boy. So now I'm like self-conscious of every time. Like now I'm doing content. I'm like, oh, am I too loud? And if she can hear me, does that mean people downstairs can hear me? What if they have a kid down there and they're trying to go to sleep at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday?
Right.
That's their problem.
That's why.
I've
And then
been
that's where I got. I'm like, that's their problem. Like,
Yep. That's me. Like I don't want to be too loud, but then I'm like, but I gotta make content. Oh.
look, the content train chugs along, and I'm gonna be on it until the wheels fall off, or if I
So
can't
true.
afford the ticket anymore.
Some would argue the wheels fell off at the beginning of this episode.
No, the wheels stayed on. They just weren't on the track, so they're still on. This train has become a truck. If you ask a Tesla,
Let's go.
they can't tell us the difference.
I may have DM'd Katie just to ask
Oh, no. Oh, what?
who would win in a fight.
Oh, me or Brutus? Like just like me or
No,
Brutus
me or you.
Oh. Certain.
You've got strength. I've got speed.
I have experience.
I could out. I have a can-do attitude and a youthful glow.
Exuberance.
Yeah, I'm also Gen Z, so get on my level. Like,
Yeah, but like, I got the power of
Millennials,
God and anime on my side.
you don't watch anime.
It's not true.
Name
don't
an
watch-
anime you've watched that is more than 300 episodes.
Digimon.
That does not count.
What do you mean?
That's
that
like saying
doesn't count?
Pokemon.
Hold on a minute.
What? What do you mean that doesn't
Which
count?
You asked
Digimon?
a
Which
question,
Digimon?
He answered.
Yeah, adventure.
And he answered incorrectly.
Adventure.
What's adventure?
Digimon Adventure.
Isn't that like a game for the Atari?
No. So what? That is what it's considered. Like Digimon.
How many
Advent-
episodes is it?
I'm looking it up right now.
The first 3 seasons.
We get a fact check on that?
Come up to about like
54.
317.
54.
Or you're talking about the 2020 reboot.
No, I'm not talking about the 2020 reboot. I'm talking about
The one from
the whole
1989?
thing. The whole thing. It's like there's over 300 episodes. The whole thing.
Yeah.
I was watching when it wasn't popular to watch anymore. I was watching when they were doing human Digimon fusion. All right.
Hey, let me tell you right now. Don't count.
What do you mean it doesn't count? Pokemon's got more than 1,000, more than 300.
Pokemon's got more than One Piece.
Yeah, but I was watching.
Oh, Katie, DM me back. Katie, DM me back.
Oh no. No. What did she say?
Katie, would you let Grumm wrestle me? Katie says, no love, I wouldn't. Him big, but me fast. Him big. You just got a compliment.
Him big.
Him big.
Him big.
I'm big.
Look at those. Look at that.
Yeah. Now we got
6 foot
video.
Goliath. I know pressure points. I watched
She's gonna ask me
a
what.
YouTube video once.
She's gonna ask me what. The
Bears gonna start
context is
pulling
of-
out 8 trigrams.
What did I say last time on the podcast? I was talking about Katie once.
Oh, we're talking
which-
about when you and Katie were going back and forth. How you were on the front.
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
White House.
and then yeah, because Kate. Oh, you did the Katie Valentine show, right?
That was so. I had issues with that one.
Oh no!
But that one was completely different. The microphone was like slightly
Literally
unplugged.
me.
So it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So that's another one. I told her like we're gonna redo. What the hell? What is this? Bear?
It's the 8 trigrams.
Oh. But okay, I don't watch.
I was actually thinking of this.
Never watched. Like,
No, you don't
should.
need to worry
It's great.
about it.
Pat, look, if I was able to, I work outside. I gotta use my data. I can't. I would love to sit down and watch. You guys are already so far ahead. I'm sure you're almost finished the series.
Oh, believe me, we're not.
Oh, no.
I think you could try to. I think you could try to tire him out, but being fast. But I would worry you might get hurt. Yeah, it's all about me getting hurt, not you, by the way.
No,
You didn't give
no.
a shit. But me, little old bear.
I need to see a picture of Bear.
You
You see a picture of me? You can go on my Twitch.
And if yours not like a green Ursa ring, you got no chance.
And even if you were a green Ursa ring, you wouldn't have a chance. No, Kate. Well, here's the thing. Katie's like we've been in this apartment for a month now, and she has seen me like stub my toe and just keep walking, like in the pain of it, and then the pain receptors are slow. I'll just say that. Like, I'll stub my toe and keep walking and be like, okay, now there it is.
What'd I do?
What'd I do? I stubbed my toe, and that's what hurt. That's what took me down. But I think. Look, I think she's right. I don't think you have a chance.
All right, Hell in a Cell match. Grumm versus me. You're done. Okay.
I've seen every Hell in a Cell match.
I think me and Grumm is the better fight.
What?
See, I'm afraid of
what
fighting.
I do?
I'm afraid of fighting Pat because I might just forget that Pat is a friend and just remember that Pat's from the Boston area and just snap and be like, ah! Just take out all.
But I've got a gimmick.
You do have a gimmick.
I'm British.
You are British.
I could walk in the ring and I'd be like,
how to wrestle.
"Tally ho, gentlemen!" Like
that's not true at all. There's William Regal, Dave Taylor, Zack Sabre Jr.
And where are they now?
Dave Taylor's retired.
Let's go. I need this down.
Regal.
I need this down.
What?
I'm leaking DMs. Never tell Katie this unless she watches this podcast.
Okay, all right.
I'm Katie's favorite online friend. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Get with that. Get with the program. Get with the program, ladies and gents. I'm just that suave, okay? I just, it's the accent, the fake accent.
The fake.
I'm not actually British, everyone listening.
Pat, we told you that story, right? Of how.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I wanted to make sure. Well, I guess so.
You think my British accent's fake, Pat?
I do.
You think
Well,
I'm a
no, I was
fake
gonna say.
Brit?
Has to be.
We have to retell it because no one heard it.
We heard it. We're still gonna pretend we heard it.
Yeah.
Alright, we were watching. It was Christmas, a fateful time. We were watching
Klaus.
a movie. Klaus. We were watching Klaus. We were watching Klaus, which is a good movie. However, me and Nora joined because we were just hanging out and we're like, "Oh, Grumm's doing a movie night. We'll go and watch that." So we both joined, and I'm speaking normally, like I would normally, as one would speak. And throughout the whole movie, me and Nora are just making wisecrack jokes over the movie. Everyone loving it, everyone eating it up, because we're just such comedians. And we get to the end of the movie, and just out of nowhere, Grumm decides to be like, hey, this is my Grumm impression. Hey, everyone, it's me, Grumm. Basically, this is my girlfriend, Katie. And then Katie was like, hi, I can't do a Katie impression. Hi, everyone. That's my best impression. And we were talking, and out of nowhere, Grumm's eating it up, eating the room, being like, hey, look at me, And then...
I mean, not literally, figuratively.
Hold on a minute.
No,
Figuratively.
Figuratively.
Yeah, See, it's accurate. The impression is accurate. So we're hanging out, and Katie goes, Bet, what's this bit that you're doing? And it's because she knows that, I'm assuming Grumm has mentioned that we all do bits together, and we do dumb shit all the time. So I'm like, what bit? And she goes, the British accent, how do you keep that up? I know it's fake because you're American, but why are you doing it? I'm like, my sister in Christ, it is 4 a.m. I stayed here, and now I'm getting this. I'm being met with this. My word! No, this is my accent. She's like, oh, that makes sense. I'm like,
that makes sense.
I just started speaking an American accent for the rest of the night. Then
Katie's smart, very smart, smarter than me.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. I didn't laugh.
She is.
I didn't laugh at that.
I agree that Katie is a very smart person, and they're cool.
And smarter than me.
Thumbs up.
However, that was a moment of my girlfriend just being just too sweet for this world. Of just they're doing a bit. No, because I think
it's too late for them to be away.
She goes, no way that's a real accent. And I was like, what do you mean? No, that's not that's it's a joke. That's not their real voice. And I'm like, what do you... Bear is British. And she goes, what? And Bear, I had my headphones off, and I just turned them up so that Bear could be heard. And Bear's like, Katie, what do you mean? Like, just like, what do you mean? I'm like, what? Like, I heard that.
What do you mean?
Because I kept my foot on the push to talk button while we were having this discussion. So she's like, wait, they can hear me? I was like, yes, they all can hear you think Bear is not British.
I can't believe it.
So she's just like, what? She's like, I felt so bad that I didn't know Bear was British. I just thought that they were doing a bit the whole time.
What? 2-hour movie?
That's what I was saying. I was just like, but what logic does that make to just do the bit while everybody's watching a movie? And she's
I
like,
will say,
I don't know.
I have been extremely tempted to go to university just in an American accent for an entire day. I have been tempted to people that I've never met before.
Yeah, that's different. But that's different because no one's watching. Like, you're not watching. Like, that's just for the bit of it. Is the doing it for the shits and giggles? Like, there's like I don't know, maybe 8 people in the voice call. Me, Katie were one of them. Were 2 of them. You and Nora were the other 2. Like.
Jayhawk.
Yeah, Jayhawk's in there. Sandy's in there. I think John was there. Yeah. Like, just watching a movie. Meanwhile, just this bit.
It's so funny. I won't lie. I have told so many people this story. Like, it's just so funny because it makes me realize, like, is my British accent bad? Like, do I have a...
I think
it's the stereotypical British accent.
Yeah,
are you saying I have a stereotypical British accent?
I was gonna say it's a very British accent. It's
oh my god!
You're a basic Brit.
I'm from Birmingham.
Birmingham.
You need to we don't like a Scouse or a Geordie accent to really.
Oh yeah, I can do a Scouse. That's what they sound like. That's gonna get a lot of rows out of any of you British people.
I was in Liverpool back in the summer of 2019, and I couldn't understand a word. Like 80% of the people were saying. I just had to kind of go along with it. I was at the train station ordering a meat pie. Could not understand what the guy was saying to me.
The funniest like thing is hearing about Americans watching like Peaky Blinders and telling me they need the subtitles because they can't understand it. And I find that so funny because that's basically where I live.
You're just like, yeah, no, that's normal. Yeah.
So you have razor blades in your hat?
If I wore hats.
Well, it's not wearing hats because then you'd have razor blades. You never know when you need them. Yeah.
True, actually.
Just like Brutus the Barber, he always has the scissors on him.
That's true. You could give people close shaves. Then you could be Bear.
I'm gonna shave you for later. Oh my god.
Brutus the Barber Bear Cake.
No, I'd be Mustache Bandit.
You could be Mustache Bandit. Yeah. That's a good
name.
That's a great
Hey, Pat knows nothing of the Mustache Bandit legacy.
Hey, you got a nice mustache, yeah. Let me get that mustache.
Hey, you got a nice mustache there, kid. Yeah, I'm from Boston. This is what we all sound like from Boston. Hey, I'm walking here. Yeah, they do. I've been there, I swear.
I'm from there. Yeah, we're from there.
I'm from there. You ain't from there.
Yeah. That's like a Jersey accent.
The whole it's a goon bit. It's
Why,
a goon.
You're the...
it's just supposed to be like low level goon, and the idea is that they just steal mustaches. That's the whole bit. Is that they just steal mustaches. It's a whole group.
Give me your mustache.
No. The best was I had a character who was perpetually 18 and prepubescent at 18, so like couldn't grow any facial hair. So in doing leaning into their bit, I went and got a fake mustache so that I had a mustache on my character just so they could rob me of a mustache.
Alright, come on, muffins.
Yeah. Oh, no, they stole my mustache. Trying to explain to Grand Theft Auto roleplay cops that somebody stole my mustache on a character they've never seen a mustache on. On a character, mind you, that is known for bullshitting cops, but legitimately something happened. They're just like, shut the fuck up, muffins.
That's a great
trying to explain GTA roleplay to anyone who has never played Like, has never done role play before, even if they've
None
played
of those words are in
GTA.
the Bible.
You'd be surprised. Moses 2:15. Everyone should be a GTA role player to live a fruitful life. It's in there.
Yeah, they said it before or after you parted the Red Sea.
Yeah, you have to
Moses-
part the Red Sea to get the 4090 at the bottom of the sea so that you can run 5M for more than 50 minutes.
Moses
Oh, my
7:14
word.
said everybody should have one criminal, one white hat, and one civilian.
Oh,
man.
The role player people listen to this. That's gonna kill. Everyone else is gonna be like, what
Everybody's
the
like,
fuck does that
I
mean?
don't understand that. Man, yeah, no, I
Make a criminal.
make a criminal, make a white hat character.
All right, you gotta make a civ first, then you make and then how everyone starts roleplay. You make a civ, and then that civ becomes a criminal because that's how the server economy always works. You
And
become
then-
a criminal forever.
And then when you
and
realize it's not as much fun because you lose everything you get, that criminal goes straight and they become a cop because then they get all the fun stuff. Haven't you served jail time 5 times this week? Yes, but I'm on the straight and narrow now. I want to be a cop.
I spat my drink out. The amount of people that I know did that is so funny.
Yeah, no, great times.
God,
Great
I miss those days. Hey Pat, you want to do GTA roleplay?
Yeah, Pat,
Say
you want
no.
to grade that photo? Yeah.
I don't have the time. I'm unemployed, but I still don't have the time.
Look, you'd stay unemployed, or you become a
Yeah.
streamer. One of the two.
You can become a streamer, stream no pixel whitelist roleplay, spend £500 to get a fast pass.
They got rid of that.
Pound, is that like a dollar reduce?
Yeah, there was a dollar.
They got rid of the fast pass?
Yeah, I believe so.
What? How do you get in now? Is it like a queue of 2 million people?
You just go back. I think they went back to unpaid priority. Like you have to get it.
Oh, so like how they did it in the...
Yeah, they did
in
it
the
before. Yeah. But yeah, don't stay away. That's my advice. Don't. If
Hey,
you haven't-
stay away unless you can get your own little friend server. If you can do that, then do that.
Pat, could you
That's
imagine
what
a
I was
CPF GTA roleplay server?
We need it.
I don't know if we need it. I really don't think
Need
we
it.
need it.
We need like
What?
one.
What is it?
So CPF is the group of friends that me and Pat have from Tyler IM's Discord, and they're just
He still doesn't come back, by the way.
he still hasn't come back, much like my father. But I've seen him, unlike my father. In fact, he invited me on his new show, which was really cool. Shout out Tyler IM. Also, real quick before we go, okay, and I'll find a way at some point to turn this back into wrestling.
Yeah, of
I
course.
hate Twitter's new font. I hate
The
it.
new font.
Bro,
It
I
turns-
tell you, every
it
time they
turns-
change a font,
it's the slightest inconvenience. But my eye now has like the serifs, so like it looks like an eye, like an uppercase I, and I hate it. I don't like it. I liked how it looked before. There's too much space between the M and the
Wait,
I.
I
now.
didn't even know Twitter changed their font.
They literally, Elon Musk paid somebody to make a custom font that only Twitter has access to.
it's kind of funny though.
is.
I do hate that. It is like, I'm gonna make a font that no one else can use. Fuck you.
And
If
like,
I had
it's
that kind of
slightly
throwaway
different.
money, it is different. It does look different. It's like when Discord changed its font.
Yeah, but I got used to that eventually.
It's just, it's so like, you wake up, you check the thing that you check every single day, and you're squinting for like a good 20 minutes. Like, something's not right. Something isn't right here. What's? It's not the light. The font looks a bit.
Yeah. It's just
Every time.
wild. I hate it though. I hate it because it just doesn't look right. What?
Is you saying you hate it?
What?
I hate it. I hate
I
it.
hate it. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it, boss.
You ate it?
No, I hate it. I hate it.
Oh.
You need to put some guttural sounds into that.
Yeah, put the back of the throat in there.
I hate it.
Yeah, move
don't-
real close to the mic to do
I
that.
hate it. Starting to sound a little bit like like Team 4-Star like Cell, but like in his first form.
Yeah. It always sounds like this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Like that.
Cell.
Want
Yeah,
to
man.
watch me drink this guy? All right, so
We need to do it quickly. We need to do a TFS. We need to do a Team 4-Star rewatch in your Discord at some point. We should do that.
Yeah.
You need to watch an anime. Let's watch Team 4-Star, baby.
There's only 60 some odd episodes, but they
And then we'll go.
They take 300 episodes and condense them down to 63, so it still counts.
Well, then we can do the Yu-Gi-Oh one.
Yeah, or the movies. There's like 20 movies.
Oh, that's the movies too. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 20 movies, so it's 83. The shorts, the non-movies, but the shorts. Hell, that Cell Saga.
The Cell shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, those are great.
Mugman.
Yeah. I'm Spider-Man. What?
You gonna eat that?
But yeah, I definitely will do that. So be on the lookout for that if you're listening to this and you're in the Grummunity, the Grummunity server. There we go. Word.
If not, join now.
Yeah, discord.grum.tv. So, Pat, you want to take us final thoughts on Brutus the Barber Beefcake and your time on the dork side today?
Well, not exclusive to Brutus, but the fits in 80s wrestling
Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
were nowhere near as complex or intricate as some today. It's just a lot of large men in very tight clothing who may or may not have been using human growth supplements,
Steroids.
and surprised they didn't rip open with all the sharp objects nearby.
And Brutus accidentally slices a vein because it's bulging through his skin. We really didn't talk about that. Like they're very from what we the really. I feel bad that we only watched like the end of the adorable Adrian Donnelly because his whole character was, for the time in the '90s or the mid '80s, it was cheap heat. It was very much like, oh, here's this flamboyant character. He's a bad guy because he's flamboyant and likes pink and is obsessed with himself, and thus the fans would go, gay, 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 and just not. Yeah, like pro wrestling, horrible place for a long time, and in some aspects still is, unfortunately. But he would come out in these with over the top, elegant like attires, but also because I think he was like 340 pounds at the time. Like people are like, oh, why is he wearing all these tight clothes? He's fat. Oh, he's gay. And it's just like, shut up. Like,
Man, fuck you.
He's a bad guy because he's arrogant. He's not a bad, like, but hey, people are dumb and ignorant. But like, Brutus, we saw a little bit of him. His WrestleMania 3 outfit is loud with Dino Bravo wearing his proud Canadian bedazzled jacket. But like the in-ring stuff, like a lot of guys just wore trunks or singlets and that was it. Whereas nowadays, like, there's so much thought into what you want to wear. Like, Johnny Gargano's gear from Elimination Chamber was inspired by Bluey and Bandit from the show Bluey, which is like, yeah, it's simple, but also very cool. Whereas these guys are like, I'm wearing powder blue tights and yellow boots. Like, that was it.
Powder blue and yellow never misses.
Got the fit.
Yeah. Also, no coordination between the genius and his one client. Like, oh, you got one guy you manage. He's wearing yellow, and you decide to wear pink, which also happens to be the color your opponent's wearing. Come on.
No, not just pink. It is the exact pink and maroon that Brutus is wearing during that match.
Yeah, what a mistake. No wonder why you got your hair cut. So much for being a genius.
Yeah.
Think of that one, smart pants.
More like ingenious.
Also, probably should have wore running shoes so that you could get away faster instead of some, slip and slide business shoes.
Some dress shoes.
Yeah, ballroom shoes, huh, pal? Pat, before we go, you wanted to talk. Is there anything you want to talk about, like like the genius being
yes.
around. Yeah, you said you wanted to talk a little bit.
So, there's been a couple things that I've seen in my very recent wrestling history of kind of like the auxiliary people that currently, like the Paul Heymans, the MVPs of the wrestling world. So I kind of wanted to touch on how has that evolution been? Or has it kind of been always a constant? Like you'd have these one or two guys that have their counsel, the special counsel, or the assistant.
It used to be in the 80s. So there used to be managers. Basically, you took a guy who could wrestle real well, and if he couldn't talk worth a damn, you put him with somebody. Like, you know, or you had somebody who was a really good talker, and you made them become over the top with an additional person. So, like, for example, the Four Horsemen, it was 4 really good guys who could talk: Ole Anderson, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Ric Flair, and then they had J.J. Dillon, who would kind of be like their business guy. He was like, "Look, this is what we're doing. This is, you know, when he's talking, it's more of a global talking, and then when Rick's talking, he's talking about his opponent. Whereas, like, you know, J.J. Dillon's like, we're doing this. You know, we're you know, the Four Horsemen are doing this. This is what we're doing. This is our plan." And in WWE, because WWE ran a lot of other places, a lot of other territories ran like, hey, we're gonna have a bad guy on top, and our top babyface is gonna chase them, because that's what makes money. Because people will pay to see the good guy win, or somebody to beat the bad guy. WWE was the opposite. It was, we're gonna watch people are going to pay to see Hulk Hogan. Doesn't matter who he's facing. We want to face Hulk Hogan. So what they ended up doing was they took Bobby the Brain Heenan, and they gave him an entire stable of people that would eventually just get fed to Hulk Hogan. So in this essence, Paul Heyman is like him and MVP are kind of the closest thing to what Bobby Heenan was doing, whereas like Heyman now really only accompanies Roman, but like at one time he would accompany the Usos as well and whatnot. Or MVP goes with Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin and Omos. Heenan would go for all of his guys. You know, Jimmy Hart did the same thing. You saw Jimmy Hart at the end of the first clip with Brutus the Barber Beefcake, or he's helping Adrian Donis, you know, cover his head. They would have these big stables, you know, like a horse stable, you know, stable of wrestlers. And then around, I want to say like the 92, 93, hey, you know, Jimmy Hart, you know, takes a step back. He leaves with Hulk Hogan. Bobby the Brain Heenan, you know, goes to WCW because they can afford more, but he doesn't want to manage anymore. And there's less and less. Ted DiBiase comes back. He's got his own $1 million company, it's $1 million corporation, and he would accompany all of his guys out. But like around 90, that's probably the last time, it was like 96, 97, where there's full-time managers, because Vince didn't see the money in that, and then because he didn't see the money in it, no one else did. Nowadays, like, WB is starting to get back into it a little bit. AEW is okay with it. Like, they have a couple like dedicated managers, but the really good ones stand out, you know, because they can talk, but they also have they like you kind of said, the accoutrement of the entire thing. They add to somebody's presentation, and it takes a very credible talent to do that and be able to add without being the forefront. Like, Paul Heyman does a great job of being in the background, and then when he's called on, I got this. I'll do my part. You know, like with Cody Rhodes as of late. But when it's time for Roman to talk and address things, you don't see Heyman isn't barely on camera. He gets completely out of the main shot, because his role right now is to be special counsel to Roman Reigns. Whereas like MVP is an advocate. He you know, goes to Bobby Lashley, he goes to Omos, he's speaking on their behalf, so he's with them in every shot, and he's lending his recognition to those guys. So the evolution, it devolved, it went away, and it kind of came back but not as strong as it used to answer your question.
It kind of feels like you can't have too much of it now because of like Twitter discourse being like, oh, you're like trying to be Paul Heyman, you're trying to be MVP, and you can't really oversaturate kind of the secondary person that isn't actually wrestling night to night.
Part of that is absolutely true. Like, there are people who are fucking dumb, and they cannot understand nuance. So they just see talking head next to somebody. Oh, you're trying to be like this person.
Yep.
No, like, they're just being themselves. They're doing the role of a manager, and it's never endly like. It's always like, oh, you're trying to be this best person. Yes, I'm like that. Oh, you're trying to be like LeBron James. Oh, you're trying to be or you're trying to be like Alpha Rad. Yes, I'm trying to be like the very top of the food chain. Like, what are we talking about here?
Alpha Rad, come on the pod.
Yeah, Alpha Rad, come on the pod. I'm trying to be. You're trying to like. Yes. No, I don't want to be, bumfuck person. I don't want to be Harvey Whippleman. Sorry, Harvey Whippleman.
Wow. Cold out.
A great manager in his own right, but he doesn't get that kind of respect because many people know him as a manager of losers, right? Because there's a point where if you are a manager of somebody and they lose, well then what if you as soon as you get put with somebody, you're a loser. They're a loser, and like the balance of that. From a strategy standpoint, is a challenge, and sometimes just to not have an extra challenge on top of booking 5 to 7 hours of television a week, and on top of do all that. No, you getting called out? No.
Yeah, I'm being called out.
Oh no,
a loser.
But like that's the thing is like perception is, I think it comes down to perception is reality, right? So if you're a manager and or an advocate or whatever title you want to add to your auxiliary position of a character, I think the answer of like, oh, are they trying to be somebody comes down to like, well, is that the first thing you think of when you see this person? Because I don't look at MVP and go, oh, he's trying to be Paul Heyman, oh, he's trying to be Bobby the Brain Heenan, right? He's trying to be MVP. Paul Heyman is trying to be Paul Heyman. Stokely Hathaway is trying to be Stokely Hathaway. Vicky Guerrero is trying to be Vicky Guerrero. There are people who are like, oh, they're trying to be Stokely Hathaway. Oh, they're trying to be Paul Heyman. And like it's on the performer to make sure that the differences are very obvious, so that if some dumbass doesn't want to see the nuance and the difference, then they get dunked on by everybody because like they're the idiot who can't fucking tell.
They're trying to like those advocates, managers, etc. They're trying to make the same level of impact as like the Paul Heymans.
Yes.
But like you said, do it in their own way to stand out.
Like, and Bear can you can chime in on this. I'd like to hear your thoughts. But it's like as a content creator, there are things of content creators you would like to emulate. Things you'd like to borrow from them, like, oh, I like how they format their videos like this, or I like how they incorporate their sponsors like this, but ultimately you still have to keep yourself, a part of it.
I mean, the age-old method is just using Undertale music, and then
yeah, exactly, right?
It's how you get everyone. It's like, ooh, I know that song.
Yeah. Or but you don't want to. But you don't want to. I don't want to rely too much on Undertale or Super Smash Brothers because that's what everybody does. So you're trying to find ways to stand out. You're trying to find ways. Wait, that's a JoJo beat. Wait a second. Excuse me. Like,
what do you mean I can't use very popular music in the mainstream entertainment series? Come on.
But that's the thing is, like, no one says you can't do that. No one's saying, like, as a wrestling manager, you can't do what Paul Heyman does. You just can't do it as well as Paul Heyman, because he's Paul Heyman. Like, there are things of, like, you have to find... And for content creators and performers in wrestling, like, that's trial and error, is finding things that work. And, like, oh, hey, like, that's, like... I remember when Bear told me about how they were going to format a lot of their videos with like kind of inspired by Battle Block Theater, you know,
age old content. Battle
Right?
Block Theater is
Yeah.
God, I love that game.
And I'm like, that's a great idea. I don't see that, you know, because it's difficult, you know, it's kind of difficult to do for an entire thing, but you know what it's great for? Short-term content, like you can find on TikTok on Squidge VT. Like it's good for
Oh
that
wow,
kind of
what a
stuff.
shock!
Yeah, there we
No,
go.
no way, not me. Couldn't be me.
You know, and it's just good. And then the more and more Bear has worked with it, Bear is incorporating into some different forms of content. Now it's promotional stuff. Hey, put that in like put it in as live stream content. You know, as an avatar. So like, there's things where finding ways to take inspiration from things and adapting them to yourself is probably the best case scenario. Sometimes it works. Sometimes people will just be ignorant and be like, well, you're just trying to do this. And it's like, yeah, I am trying to be as successful as that thing. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing
You're just copying them.
No one takes ideas
God.
from bad ideas. Like, no one
Yeah.
looks at a bad idea
Hey.
and goes, I'm going to do that. You go, I'm going to fix that. You know?
Yeah, and then there's so many people that try and fix what ain't broke.
Yeah, like there's a reason why the same shit goes to the top. You know, same shit why every YouTube thumbnail looks the way it does. There's a reason why every video essay is formatted the same way. You know,
I love a good summoning assault video.
because that's how it works. So like, there's a reason why people try to emulate Paul Heyman's managing styles. There's a reason why people try to emulate Bobby the Brain Heenan's, you know, Jim Cornette's, because they worked and in a degree that not many reached. So hey, forgive me for trying out that thing, because if I can get 80% of what that got, I'm gonna be living good. But hell, maybe I'm the missing 20%. Like, you know,
Yeah.
maybe. So, but yeah, to answer your question, Bear, do you have an in-depth question?
No deep questions. I mean, it was just
Any thoughts about?
God, it's changed a lot. Like that, watching that, I was like, God, this is dated. Oh my God, this is dated.
Agreed.
Like, it's so different to watching like even like the '90s stuff and early 2000s stuff. It's so different.
Yeah, it's because so Pat's watched like very recent stuff. Like Pat was there Saturday. We were watching Elimination Chamber and just seeing the difference. Pat already talked about that. You saw some of this kind of era stuff with the Ultimate Warrior and Papa Shango stuff, but like with the Hell in a Cell match, you know, that's 10 years. That's only that's a 10-year difference from where. So like, what's like the biggest difference between that Hell in a Cell match that is lost to the annals of time and Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Mr. Perfect?
The acting is better, I guess. Like the shaking was weird. I didn't get it. Like he just got
Convulsing.
mostly down. They go like he's being tased. It's just I feel like obviously the production value went up because it's popular and they got more money, they got more sponsors, they could do crazier stuff. I guess like they could go wild with it, and it's just like I think it's finding the right talent, and then as time went on, I think that's a lot of where it came from because it seems that they started thinking more about content later than earlier, I guess is the best way to say it, because I feel like the content later on was like early on it just seemed like, hey, we got these two guys that are gonna beat the shit out of each other, but they're gonna cut their hair in the Hell in a Cell.
Tonight on WWE, there's gonna be fire, explosions, death, and destruction.
You know, like
Yeah,
that's sort of how it feels. It's like it's so different now.
and like, I mean, we just watched the Elimination Chamber on Saturday, Pat, and like you were there, right? You won.
I was there. I still have to watch the full Roman Sammy
Gotcha.
segment because I had to hop out. But with what Bear was saying, kind of the evolution of 80s to 90s to now of the choreography, even from that 10-year stretch, got extremely better, kind of more snappy almost. You didn't feel like you were kind of seeing something that was too over the top. They found that happy medium. Like he said, the content wise, like they're focusing on, okay, who are these guys and why do we care? Oh, this is why they're gonna beat the shit out of each other, and they're gonna do it in a way that is high flying. That is. It appears that there's kind of some real personal safety risks at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, getting in that ring back then, that had no give, is a personal safety risk in and of itself. But, yeah, no, for the most part, like, there were, like, that, you know, the adorable Adrian Adonis and Roddy Piper mentioned, that had story to it. It had it had more story than I showed because there's a whole match. It's a 12-minute match, and I was like, all right, we don't need to add that on top of this because we just need the ending for it. But like, but the match before it, the Brutus Beefcake, you know, the Dream Team versus the Fabulous Rougeaus, there's not much to it other than they were two teams that were not the champions that want to be champions and are fighting each other to get a better chance at becoming champion. It doesn't need too much more than that, but at the same time, there's to you know, you guys' point, there's not much around it other than just that. Like, hey, these are two teams that want to climb the ladder. Where, like, you know, with you know, the, like, Elimination Chamber, like, Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley faced off with each other for no titles, but it's just a matter of pride at this point. But you have all this going into it where Bobby, you know, is like, whoa.
Eliminate him at Royal Rumble.
Yeah, like, I'm not... But there's a character. There's more to it to where, hey man, this goes back further than just this. Like Vince McMahon liked to make sure everybody got on pay-per-views to pay them. Part of it is for negotiating tactics. Like, look how good the payouts are. But part of it's also like, I have this big roster. I got to get them on somewhere, and it's like, not if it's like to Bear's point. Not if you're putting out good, you know, mediocre content, because no one's gonna sit there and remember that. Oh man, that match, and like we're seeing it nowadays, where there's a lot of really good wrestling matches on AEW, but people are just like, man, I'm kind of bored of this, you know, because it's a good wrestling match, but there's not much to it. Whereas WWE wrestling isn't as good, but you have these stories building. You have Sammy and Roman Reigns, Sammy and the Bloodline. You know, Cody Rhodes challenging. Like, you have these interesting characters that you're going, oh, I want to watch that. Like, there's content. There's more.
Yeah.
There's more meat on the bones. And
And sometimes it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter all the time. It's like, oh, that was the best match I've ever seen. It's the outcome and kind of the process of... Because we see it all the time. There's sometimes, like, minutes of downtime where there's... people coming in from the sides, there's shit talking between the wrestlers, there's story beats that get hit that keep you engaged, where you don't need to be like all like turn off your brain and watch these big meaty men slap their meat.
Okay, well, that's a different website.
No, it's not. We had some meaty men slapping meat on Saturday. So, yeah, no, Barry, you should come by. We got WrestleMania season coming up. We should have. We should have a lot of it. But there's like, there is. I used to say WWE is like Marvel, in terms of like the stories and whatnot. Wrestling is like Marvel. Like the whole goddamn thing is like Marvel. It is just insane stunts with very understandable stories. But when those stories become long, you know, you can pull these little strings of things from a couple years ago and pull them out. Like, I'm working on a thing talking about Sami Zayn's, like, 5-year run, and I'm pulling these strings and be like, ooh, I want to talk about that and how this relates to this and this and this. there's a beauty to it, and it makes you appreciate it a little bit more. But at the end of the day, it's still just guys doing stunts, coordinated stunt work, and some of them in their underwear, some of them in pants, some of them in full on superhero gimmicks, right? It's just there's more content to it, and it's just there. Back then, very simple, very easy to digest. I mean, Hulk Hogan was one of the most popular because he was like, say your prayers, take your vitamins, drink milk, and God bless America. And like, brother,
pinnacle of America.
Yeah, and people were crazy for that. They loved it, and then it started to get tired out. So then Stone Cold Steve Austin rises, and he's getting back off the back of, fuck my boss, I'm going to be a complete asshole to my boss, I'm going to make his life miserable, I'm going to do everything that everybody wants to do to their boss, I'm going to put cement in his fucking convertible, I'm going to spray beer on him, I'm going to make him piss himself with a fake gun, I'm going to drive a Zamboni into the ring, I'm going to drive a monster truck over this, I'm going to drop a wrecking ball on something, like, all these things that he just did because he was stone cold and people just were fucking awesome. It also was, emblematic of the time of, Jerry Springer. Everybody is there's this counterculture kind of wave of like, I'm done with how everything has been fucking done. Fuck, like, why do we need to do this? Why does it, blah, 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 blah. Like, why does TV need to be boring? Make it fun. And then there was like a culture shock, and people were like, whoa, maybe we went too far with some of this shit. Let's reel it back. And now it's like, okay, well, we figured out that the 80s was too simple, but the 90s was too wild. And it took a little bit of the 2000s and the 2010s to really kind of figure out the new formula. And now the new formula is, hey, really athletic people doing really athletic things, and we're telling some stories. Because now you have those crazy things, but they're not crazy in the same, in like, unrealistic crazy, like Stone Cold wanted to kill a guy with his car. All right, like, we can do that kind of bit. Yeah. Like, we can kind of do that bit, but also we don't have to rely on it.
They definitely did that bit with Brock Lesnar driving a front end loader.
Yes,
breaking the ring, almost killing Roman Reigns in the process.
But in doing that, it stood out because you didn't see it week to week. Like, I've never seen it. Like, I'm sitting there going, I've never seen this before. This is incredible. There are people who've been watching wrestling for longer than me. Never seen this before. This is incredible.
Not true.
But there are wrestling fans that in the 90s, every time you turned on television in the late 90s, you saw something you never saw before. And it trains your brain to be like, all right, but I've seen this already. I've seen this already. And you're like, this sucks because I've seen this already. And you're like, dog, you've only been watching for 2 years. You didn't see everything. You've only seen the new shit. And I think that comes back to, like, Bear's point about, like, the content of they were adding too much content. Like, there's an oversaturation of the stuff. Because, like, that match I showed you guys, in 2000, that was an insanely wicked match. There were matches on the card prior that were hardcore matches that involved all types of weapons and whatnot. So you're like, oh, I've seen people bleed already.
Yeah.
Oh, I've everybody on the card already bleed. Whereas nowadays, like, okay, we're gonna pick and choose. Not everybody's gonna, like, in WWE. There's like no blood. So the next time somebody bleeds, which will probably be at WrestleMania, it's gonna stand out a lot because you're gonna be like, oh, this is really good. Like, he's bleeding. In AEW they do it a lot more, but it also stands out because you don't see it elsewhere, on television. So they kind of they're able to get away with it. And the balance and the figuring out the formula, it's a great time. It's a great time.
Yeah. I can't wait till someone just loses a limb at one of these things. That's how they go above and beyond.
I mean, look, like, that's kind of like 99, Owen Hart fell from the catwalk and died. And then they still went on with the show. And like, people have given their life, like, that's where it's just like, ooh, no one, we're still going with this? Okay, like, all right. Like, Mick Foley's like, I'm still going to fall off of things, but I'm going to do it safe now. And it's like, okay, Mick, like, All right, I'm not going to tell you no because you're Mick Foley. But Bear, where can the people find you and your glorious, glorious content?
You can find me on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast at support.grumm.tv. You can find me probably sleeping in my bed. I haven't made much recently, but I do the TikToks, I do the YouTubes every now and again when I feel like it, when the brain decides to move. But yeah, TikTok, Squidge, VT, go and enjoy those. Other than that, not much, doing things, but support.grumm.tv, thumbs up.
Pretty good. Pat,
Pretty good.
what about you? Where do you want the people to find you?
If they want to find me, they would have by now.
That's fair.
I don't make content.
No.
I retweet things on occasion.
That's true. But
Go follow the Twitter.
Go follow the Twitter. ThatDuffGuyPat. That's right. I know it off the top of my head. Mainly because I tagged
I'm glad.
I tagged it the other day. Yeah, I tagged it the other day. So that I could be like, yeah, let me tag the people. And then I realized twice. My brain, I was like, all right, let me untag everybody in the replies. And I forgot to twice. I was like, I did the first one, and then the second one, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm tagging Stone Cold in this twice. All right, whatever. Like great. This is how I get the podcast blocked by Dustin Rhodes. But we said nice things. We said nice things about the guy. At least I think we did. I don't remember. It's the very first watch along we ever did.
You'd hope.
I hope so. Yeah, I do hope so. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it. We went long. Thank you guys for giving me an extra hour and a half. Almost hour.
As always.
Yeah. Barry, you need to go to sleep.
Hey.
You do.
Sleep.
I'm not at uni till 10 a.m. tomorrow.
All right, so 8 hours from now. That's just
I
enough
did
time
have I'll let you know, I had a 3-hour nap before this podcast. I
okay.
got home, immediately went to bed.
Oh, all right. Well,
set an alarm for 10 minutes before.
Well, I gave you that worked out.
Yeah, and you gave me an extra 15 to wake up.
Yeah, because I got home a little later than I planned on it. But thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it. It is a fun time. I made sure I was checking on this every time to make sure that there weren't extra sources. All right, I'm gonna check one more time, and if it happens, I got you guys for another 2 hours.
We have to record. We have to record another one.
Oh, I forgot to hit the record.
Another one.
I forgot to hit the record button. No, we're good.
I'll cry. I'll do it.
No crying. I told Pat this yesterday. No crying on the dork side. I appreciate it. What the fuck?
What the fuck, man?
My fucking mustache.
My mustache.
Thank you guys. I love you guys, and I cannot wait to have you on again. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Bear, for coming on and just blessing the podcast with your presence. Your presences. It's a good episode, fun episode, talking about Brother Brutus and yeah. Also, Bear, Bear was talking about how my partner Katie was saying don't fight Grumm. Yeah, no, don't do it. Don't fight me. Brother Brutus, if you want to give me a haircut, I actually got a haircut. If you think you can top this haircut, Brother Brutus, you can help us. Although now I'm looking at it and kind of see like a cowlick from sleeping on it. Either way, thank you guys so much. Episode 80 next week. It is myself. It is Uncle Chet with the bad back. Uncle Chet Ripley himself and John. We are talking about the Fish Market Street Fight match from Destination X 2008 between Team 3D, otherwise known as the Dudley Boys, and Curryman and Shark Boy on the other end. Not Shark Boy as in Lava Girl and Shark Boy. Shark Boy as in the Stone Cold parody Shark Boy. That's right. It's got to see it. Fun episode. We talked about some Tropic Thunder. We talked about parodies in general. Some good stuff. Fine times ahead of us. Thank you guys for following us. Keep following us here on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, CastBox, wherever you're listening to us. YouTube, if you're YouTube, like and subscribe. I appreciate that. Tell your friends about that. That we're on YouTube now. Awesome. Also, I got nothing else. I got nothing else to plug. That's an event thing. But yeah, follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram at DorksideRing. You can go to support.grumm.tv and you can become a patron today. You get these episodes early. You get early access to videos and exclusive content and more, all for as low as $1. Low as $1, you get access that you don't normally get as an unpaid member. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys next week. Myself, Chet Ripley, and John are talking about the 2008 Fish Market Street Fight match from Destination X 2008 TNA. We're talking about some TNA stuff. It's a good one. Thank you guys. Continue to not take wrestling seriously, because wrestling is seriously better when no one is taking it serious. I am Grumm. I will see you guys here next week on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast.